And so he doesn't know what he doesn't know. And so now he's just making moves. And I'm telling you, I've been joking for a couple of days on social media before this story. He can't blame Saleh anymore. He can't blame Joe Douglas anymore. Who's he going to blame next? And in the tweets, I said, hey, where are you going, Aaron Rodgers? Not knowing that he wanted to bench him after 4 weeks.
I think that this story is so damning, Mike, that, I mean, Woody almost has to reach out to like a Mike Lupica or go on a radio show and put out this fire. And if he keeps quiet, Mike, it's a tacit admission that all of it's true.
Mike, here's what I was thinking, and I'm sure you guys agree with this. The right thing to do, but guys like Woody, Woody born on third base and thinks he hit a triple Johnson, okay, is to say, I am more responsible for this mess than anybody. To take some accountability. It's not going to make him more popular with Jets fans, but it might at least show a glimpse of awareness and this sounds crazy, humanity, and do a mea culpa here, because none of this happens the way it happens without him. He had clearly decided he didn't want Robert Saleh before they started off, okay? And then he thought, oh, this will be a genius move on my part. Now they've won one game since then, and the defense has gotten much worse, okay? And obviously he wants to blame Douglas for personnel that, wait for it, he's been saying all along is the most talent he's had in 25 years owning the team. Now, that talent didn't assemble itself when he thought it was great. But when everything has turned to you-know-what, Douglas was the next guy to go. Rodgers will be the next guy to go because this has worked out even worse than anybody could have ever anticipated. And I think I said this to you last week, but I'll say it to you again now. Aaron Rodgers' Jet is going to turn 41 in a couple of weeks. Willie Mays joined that team when he was 41. It's two different sports, and it's the same thing for two aging superstars, except people like Willie Mays a lot better than they like Aaron Rodgers.
And he got the Mets to the World Series, or he's part of a Met team that went to the World Series.
No, he was. And guess what? For all of the images, and
he didn't have a terrible year.
It's Michael. You're 100% right. And by the way, I mean, Rodgers has slipped on some banana peels, but you can make a comparison between the year he's having and the year Willie has. But you're right, Michael. Willie was not nearly as bad as those images of him falling down in the outfield.
Right.
Let's walk down the hall to Dysfunctional Life Stadium and find out what's going on with the Giants. And is DeVito starting because he's the better quarterback than Locke, or is he starting because at least it gives a little juice to the last remaining games of the season?
They're using this kid for cover. Yeah. And God bless him. I mean, he's an unlikely story, and he won them as many games last year as Daniel Jones has won since he signed the contract. Think about that. Tommy DeVito won 3 games. Jones is 3-13 since he signed the contract. But this speaks to why you cannot let Joe Shane off the hook for what's happening here. And I don't know how complicit Brian Daboll is, too. Why do you even you're going to need a backup quarterback. Unless you're a complete idiot about football, you're going to have a fallback position this year, except they bring in a guy they never had any intention of putting out on the field. So I don't even know why they suited him up. I don't know why DeVito hadn't been the number 2 guy all along. So, listen, it's impossible to root against Tommy DeVito. But this speaks to dysfunction, you bet. Right down the hall, just as big at MetLife Stadium as the Jets. And I wrote about this the other day. We can blame Dave Gettleman for drafting Daniel Jones where he did. But nobody made John Mara and Steve Tisch and Joe Shane and even Brian Dable extend him. That was the damning crime, because that put them behind the 8 ball for 2 more years. We're now up to 6 years, and if they don't find the right guy next year, then we're moving up on a decade that they built around this kid.
Think about it. Both New York teams are going to need a quarterback next year, and it's not a deep quarterback draft, and there aren't that many people that are, needle movers in free agency. We might go into next year, both teams with bridge quarterbacks, Mike.
It's so clear that, and Michael, we've been having this conversation for as long as I've known you. I think we've had it here on previous Wednesdays. The Giants and the Jets are both in that position that bad teams are in all the time. Their only plan is to get to their next plan.
Right.
What is their only plan? Their only long-range vision is to get to their next plan. Until they screwed that one up, and as bad an owner as Woody is, and he's as bad as I've ever seen in New York sports. Okay, as bad as he is, and I love the Mara family. John Mara and I went to college together. I like him a lot as a guy. Okay, they've lost their way just as much. Mm-hmm. They haven't been quite as bad as the Jets since the last Super Bowl, but they've been pretty damn bad.
So do you run it back with Shane and Dable if it bottoms out and they'll only win 1 or 2 more games or none at all?
He's in a tough spot. First of all, he's already said he's not going to make a change.
But he said that about Joe Judge, too.
Who?
He said, yeah.
Wait, what?
Well said.
What? No, I don't. I think everything has to be on the table. I think everything has to be on the table because they have to get out of this death spiral. Think about this. After the second Super Bowl over the Patriots, they were like a model franchise. They were back to being what they want to be, which is Pittsburgh Steelers East. Okay, they had won 2 Super Bowls. They had beaten one of maybe arguably the greatest team of all time. They'd done it once when that team was 18-0, and now look at what has happened to them. Tom Coughlin had all those losing seasons before. Then Pat Sherman. Then Joe Judge. Ben McAdoo was a massive error, whether he got him to the playoffs or not. And they're just spinning around. They're just spinning around like that Twister movie. And I don't think they know how to get out of the place that Keith Hernandez used to call when he was in a slump, which is a deep, dark forest.
I'm a Giant fan. You're a Giant fan. And I respect the Maras so much. I mean, Wellington's nickname is on the football.
I love I love the old man.
But we lived through this back in the late 70s with the same thing. Yeah. So, and it really just came down, as you said, you just hire the right people. They're forced to hire George Young, which leads to, of course, Parcells, and that's the era. That's it. I mean, from 56 to now, that's it. I mean, so I don't want to blemish the Mara era because they meant so much to football, but they could be as clueless about football as everybody else until they finally were able to get George Young and get the ball rolling in the right direction. I mean, really, there's been a lot more dysfunction than there's been function in the time that I've been watching them, going back to the mid-'70s.
And look what happens after George. Then we get Ernie,
right,
who's one of the great football men who only makes one of the greatest trades in the history of New York sports, and gets Eli. And by the way, just a quick aside here, he is an absolute, hands down, forget about it, first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't even think there's a debate about this. I know he's a semifinalist now. I'll be shocked. Because, Michael, you can't spell elite without Eli.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
Changed Michael's life.
Yeah.
You're so
it was a simple, Mike, just to go again in the wig battery, it was just a simple question that day.
From a simple man. Yeah, it was a simple question from a simple man.
And a wrong answer, but an honest answer. You know what I mean?
But he won the Super Bowl the year he said it. So
no, it played out great.
You know what's funny, Mike? If you ever listen to that tape, I said, "Do you consider yourself an elite quarterback?" And he said, "Yes." And I go, "Really?" That was my response.
That's why they have editors, Michael.
Yeah.
That's why they have editors.
Not on radio, though.
Putting on that jacket. When he's putting on that jacket and you play that tape, we are not going to hear another damn thing from you.
You know what? It's a really good point. He could mention it. He may come up in the speech, Michael.
Yeah.
Now, I have a hunch. I know how you feel about this, Mike. And somehow, because we're hacks, the three of us, we didn't talk about it last week. But did you make time on Friday night to watch 58-year-old Mike Tyson step into the ring again?
100%. Now I will admit to this that I had kind of fallen asleep, and then Zach Lupica, the young man they call my brain. Okay, he lives in Southern California, so he's got a big edge on time. He said, "Are you having trouble with Netflix?" And then I remembered that I watched every minute of it. I listened to the hysterical commentary.
Good way to put it.
I watched them. I loved it when they panned the crowd. Other than Shaq, when they panned the crowd of all those B and C and D listers, like this was the fight of the century, and then it unfolded exactly as I thought with Paul and Grandpa. Okay, I knew he wasn't going to try to kill him. He didn't want to be the guy that laid out, the heavyweight champ of AARP. Okay, and
wow.
So. No, it became. You know what it became? Did you guys all watch it?
Yes.
Yeah, I went. I was there. The two of them watched.
You went?
That's right.
He was one of those C-list celebrities. Yeah.
No, I am. Mike Tyson is to me, and this part you probably won't disagree with, and I remember watching you talk on television the day after that fateful June 29th, 1997, the day after the bite fight when you were on the Sports Reporters. He's the most fascinating athlete of my lifetime, and I've wanted to. I am, as long as he's still part of the sports world, I want to see what the story is. So I went down there to see it unfold.
So that's okay. That's okay. But here's the thing about Mike Tyson. As I listened to all this praise for his career, he's not even one of the top 10 best heavyweight champs of all time. He's just not. His career is being wildly over-evaluated because of when he fought and who he fought and how he fought for that very short time essentially before what happened at the Canterbury Hotel in Indianapolis happened, okay? Nothing was ever the same for him, and so for the GOAT, or the greatest of all time, in what world was he the greatest of all time as a heavyweight?
I will only push back.
He would have cleaned his clock.
I'm only pushing back on one thing you said, because I think people in our business are known to be slightly hyperbolic. I think he's a top 10 heavyweight champion.
Maybe, okay, but maybe bottom of the top 10. Okay?
But Mike would never. You know the historian he is. He would never tell you he's as great as Ali. That's just what people have foisted onto him.
He's not as great as Larry Holmes. He's not as great as Rocky Marciano. He's not as great as Joe Louis. I mean, we can go through the list. I'll push back on Larry Holmes also, but the other three I'm not going to fight back with you about. But listen, I hear what you're saying. Did you think it was Lennox Lewis would have kicked his ass?
Well, he did. Don't worry, that happened.
But
you mean prime?
Yeah, in his prime. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Now, did you think in his prime though? What was it? One of the most fascinating and interesting ascents you've covered?
Yes, but that's different. The story and the fighter, those are two separate things. Listen, I was in Atlantic City. Dick Schaap and I went down to, God rest his soul, we went down for the Terrell Biggs Mike Tyson fight, okay? I was in the dressing room with him because, it's a different world. We're sitting around with him like the Wednesday before the fight. And I don't know if he'd said it before then, but I was there when there two British writers said, we've just been over talking to Biggs's people, and they seem to have a pretty good plan for you on Saturday night. And that's when Tyson said...
No. You were there for that?
I'm sitting in the room where he just looked up and quietly said, everybody's got a plan until they get hit. So it's only it's been changed over time to punched in the mouth, but he may have said it before that, but I know I heard it with my own ears that day.
Wow.
You have any feeling about the Soto sweepstakes? Are you having a meeting with him in Southern California at any time?
Michael, 25 years ago, Scott Morris was having the same sort of meetings, and he wanted to hear about farm systems and long-range perspectives and all the analytics and how they were going to allocate their funds going forward. And after that, you know what he did? He took the most money.
Yep.
Okay? And I still think this is going to be a money play. Right now, the Dodgers are lurking and scare me, just as a New Yorker. They scare me because they can offer him something that even the Mets can't offer, which is, okay, you can't hit in front of Judge anymore, but how would you like to hit in front of Shohei Ohtani? Okay? And so right now, if I'm betting this, I think the Yankees, and I may be surprised that he may be in right field at Yankee Stadium next year. I think they're running third behind the Mets and the Dodgers. And I don't think Hal's going to spend $600 million on a baseball player.
That I'm not sure of. I think they have a line in the sand, but I don't know where that line is. I can't say with any certitude where it is.
I have said this all along, and I have written this all along, and until it's different, I believe this. I believe the number's going to be 7 at the end.
Oh, because he wants to top Ohtani's deal. I'm talking about Scott, not Juan.
And I just think I think I've told you this before. This is like Steve Ballmer and the Clippers. He's bidding against some other rich guys, and he just throws down $2 billion finally, which nobody had gone anywhere near that. Because he's thinking to myself, let's call off the contest line. I want this team. I have the money to do this, and that's why Cohen and the Dodgers are both dangerous, because I think that they can say to Scotty, you know what? Come back to us after you get your best offer from the Yankees.
Great stuff, Mike. As always, we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Man.
All right, you guys. Talk to you next Wednesday.
All right, that is Mike Lupica.
Always good.
Got to tell you, at first when he said Larry Holmes better than Tyson, to my ears, which are in this case, I think our age difference is truly significant. Mm-hmm. In my head, it's like Larry Holmes is great. Come on, and then when you look up Larry Holmes' record and who he beat,
oh, he was good. He was great.
Mean, Larry Holmes beat practically everyone Tyson beat.
Yeah,
he beat at a later part of his career, and then of course, including Ali. Plus names like Ken Norton and Ernie Shavers.
No, everybody, all comers.
He really died. I knew he was great. Leon Spinks, Jerry Cooney, Tim Weatherspoon, Marvis Frazier, just like Tyson, James Bone Crusher Smith, just like Tyson, Carl the Truth Williams, just like Tyson. The biggest difference at the time was, and we've talked about this, he lost both to Michael Spinks.
Right. When he was older.
When he was older, right. Who then, of course, Mike annihilated. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he really did an impression. Do you want to know? I'll give any of you $100 crispy dollars if you tell me the last name that Larry Holmes fought at a much later date than you would ever possibly guess.
Oh yeah, he had some Fugazi fight in the 2000s, didn't he? I can't remember who it was.
You're too close. Did I just say $100?
Was it Lennox Lewis?
No, it's more Fugazi, Don's closer. In 2002, he fought Butterbean.
Oh, yeah.
It says Eric Esch. That's Butterbean, right?
Yeah.
I do remember
Butterbean's
that.
no longer with us, right? I believe.
I think Butterbean is with us.
I don't think you throw that out there, Michael.
You've done it before.
Yeah, and I get destroyed for it.
Because
I think Butterbean is still with us.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, it just says birthplace.
Oh,
it doesn't say death place.
I love it. I love when heavy people live a long time.
Yeah, but you
gives me hope.
Why is it okay for him to kill people?
It shouldn't be.
I just misread something because I'm dumb. He just
killed him.
He just said it could go either way. I'm going to guess dead.
I said I believe. He said Sidney, rest in peace, Sidney.
I misread because I got a problem.
Well, I misthought.
He misthought.
But you're supposed to be the genius of the group.
Oh, no, I'm not at all. Peter has ENN coming up in just a moment. Please stay here for that on Yes and 880 ESPN.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Want to stop hair loss in its tracks? Through Hims.com, you can explore a range of options that work best for you, so you can grow visibly thicker and fuller hair. Get back your robust head of hair in just 3 to 6 months with doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride, minoxidil, and a blend of supplements that support healthy hair. 3 in 4 Hims customers say they wish they started using hair treatment earlier. Stop hair loss and regrow hair. Get started today at Hims.com.
With Udemy, there's a world of possibility at your fingertips. With one click, you're in the leading online marketplace for learning and skills. Want to become an AI expert? This is learning from real-world experts around the globe. Want to awaken your artistic side? This is learning your way. Want to switch professions? Help your team reskill? This is Udemy, the power of possibilities.
Switch to Square and join over 4 million businesses worldwide. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale the way you want and the way they want, too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Gain time and peace of mind with tools that bring everything together. Switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
Slow and steady wins the race. You hear it so often you forget just how amazing slow can be. At Acorns, we help your money harness the power of slow. Invest what you can. Give it a chance to grow with time. We believe that slower is better for your money and other stuff too. Barbecue, instant replay, slow dancing. Oh, so slow. Acorns, grow your oak.
We started to use Square. As we moved from one location to 2, we quickly realised that we needed better data so that we could customise the curation for each of the markets. Originally, we started with the KDS. By adding the Square Online for the full grocery offering, we hoped to grow sales about 20-25%. And we used the loyalty program, which has definitely generated a lot of repeat business. Since onboarding with Square, we've tripled the business. It's been fantastic.
We just signed the lease on our 3rd shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We've worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to CustomInc.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our Custom Ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at CustomInc.com.
Hydration is essential, and Advocare Rehydrate makes it delicious. With 8 refreshing flavors like berry lemon ice and pomegranate tangerine, there's a bold flavor for your everyday. Salty electrolyte drinks are out, and Rehydrate is in. With a 1-to-1 sodium to potassium ratio, that means it's a hydration drink mix you'll actually enjoy drinking. Use code THIRSTY to get a free sample pack with your first order of Rehydrate, and try all the best flavors to find your favorite.
It was a game day, so I had to wear my whole cheer attire.
It was a clumsy kiss. Like I had sweat beads coming down my face. If I could do it again, I probably would have had a sweat rag.
I would probably have it done at the beach.
Keeping your lips smooth since before you knew how to use them.
Do it again?
Yes.
Where'd you get those shoes? The ones that set the vibe for the whole night. That make the exact right first impression. And have a way of thriving in any condition. A shoe for every you. At DSW.
Monday, December 2nd at 6:30. Presented by HexClad.
Recently, Congress
Set an annual limit on Part D out-of-pocket costs to help Medicare beneficiaries better afford their medications. In 2025, that annual limit will be $2,000. Another new benefit, called the Medicare Prescription Payment Plan, helps beneficiaries spread their out-of-pocket costs into monthly installments with no interest or fees. To sign up, you must contact your Part D insurance plan at least 24 hours before you pick up your prescription. This is important because you can't sign up at the pharmacy counter. To learn more, visit www.loweroutofpocketcosts.org.
Bad news, you've been arrested. Good news, you're innocent until proven guilty. Bail is set at $1,000. If you got that, good news, you go home and await your trial. If you don't, sorry, you go to jail to wait for weeks or months. But sure, you still presumed innocent. But since you can't afford bail, you've lost your freedom, and that's not right. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Welcome to ENN on TV. Brought to you by Security Dodge. I'd like to start off by saying good evening to Michael.
She just swallows it whole. And it comes out whole.
Well, I should hope so.
And to Don and myself.
But it's 69 degrees in here. What do you keep your apartment at?
It's not 69 in here. I know it's 69 when I see one.
What just happened?
Good evening to Michael.
I love when heavy people live a long time.
I'm glad that made it. It deserved it.
Somebody just told me on X that Butterbean just challenged Jake Paul like 3 days ago. Like Butterbean is thin now.
By the way, if old Butterbean would have killed Jake Paul, killed him dead. I'd like to say good evening to all of us. You guys know what happened 20 years ago today?
No, so you're talking that's 2004. I know this.
Well, didn't the Yankees end up losing the ALCS?
On November 19th?
Oh, yeah. I keep
Did they do it in snowshoes?
You Don, that one has to feel gratifying for you.
Yeah, because
all the times you've been annihilated for being a moron.
6-1.
Exactly.
You know, the bad math.
How you feeling, Michael, about that?
Awful.
Yeah, you got to. November 19th. Look, I know the baseball season's gotten later, but that's ridiculous.
You know, it's nothing I'm really proud of, Peter.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't feel that way. Guys, let's see. Where to begin today?
Have you guys seen that they now make Snapple in cans?
I don't like it.
It's rare, the Snapple can.
It's so delightful.
I like it. I like the can. Give me a crisp flavor of a can.
You like a can?
Oh, yeah. It's crisp in the can.
Who would prefer a can over glass?
It's not glass. If it was glass, it'd be a different story. It's plastic.
They have the Snapple at full plastic bottles, don't forget. The old Snapple, the old Snapple with the glass.
Oh,
that's over?
Make that sound again? Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's a delightful drink, though.
I'm off Snapple.
Well, and good night, and good evening to Don.
Why is it okay for him to kill people?
It's a great point by Don. Guys.
Yeah.
What?
I have bad news for the Cleveland Cavaliers and good news for the Celtics.
You should be able to accept your flowers today.
No, but he shouldn't because they didn't cover.
I didn't pick them.
Right.
What did I say about that 6.5? I balked. Immediate balk.
And I said, why don't you take the Cavs? It was a really good game. Yeah, it was a blowout for a bit of it, but the Cavs made a run.
Oh, of course they did. And the Cavs' 15-0 run is over. You hate to see it happen, but I think it couldn't happen to happen for a better team, I should say, than the Boston Celtics, who get the win, 120-117. Some interesting moments there. A hard foul from Jason Tatum.
Very hard.
Tatum scores 33.
Did you see the replay, though? Donovan Mitchell with that creepy smile and then the blood seeping out of his tooth.
Oh, no. Should I look this up?
Oh, it was unbelievable. It's going to be like one of the videos of the year.
Are you saying when I type in Donovan Mitchell on Twitter, it'll pop up right away?
I don't know.
The way Michael described it,
the way you're describing it, it should be the first thing I see is his bloody face.
It's not his face. He smiles slowly at the trainer, and you just see blood seeping out of his teeth. Looks like a horror movie.
All I'm seeing is Ryan Clark talking about things.
What's he wearing, a half jacket again?
That half jacket was an interesting thing there that happened with the half jacket. I still haven't seen the teeth.
Well, let's go on. I'll find it.
All right, fine. I want to enjoy it like a gentleman. So, yeah, the Cav winning streak comes to an end. Celtics get a win. I'll tell you what, guys. Knicks, get yourself in that conversation because you guys would agree. As we sit here, just 16, 17 games into the season, someone puts a gun to your head, you're saying it's Celtics-Cavs Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Yeah, I think that would be the way to bet early, but it's November.
Very early.
You're skipping over the Knicks because the Cavaliers got off to a great start.
I'm just saying, keep in mind, this is quite a start. Now, it's not shocking, guys. The Cavs, 15-0 is shocking from anyone. But, this is what we started to see of the Cavs the last couple of years. They've been on this path.
Towards this. Got a good coach.
Michael, how do you feel about the Cavs coach?
I love the coach. He's my basketball buck.
What do you think about what happened to him in Brooklyn?
Awful. It was an insurrection. That's what it was.
Wow.
Yeah. By people that had no business getting him fired.
Broke into his office, pooped on the desk, the whole nine.
Pretty much that's what they did.
The problem was they didn't have to go that far. They just pointed to the door.
Yeah, it's different. That kind of thing's different. Hall of Fame linebacker Ray Lewis has been floated as a candidate to become the next head coach at Florida Atlantic University. Those sources tell ESPN the talk of hiring Lewis is premature. Sources also told ESPN's Adam Schefter, our very own, on Wednesday, that he had emerged as a candidate for his first head coaching job.
It's all happening now.
Is college football really big enough for the talking from both Deion Sanders and Ray Lewis?
No, the way it seems that Deion, the clock is ticking. He's going to be an NFL coach, and by the draft, so it won't happen.
You think that's going to happen? Can you see Deion going to Dallas?
I'm not sure.
I can see Deion going to the Raiders. You don't think that would work itself out? I would think he'd approve Vegas. I think Vegas would probably give him the reins. Right? So it's twofold. Yeah, Deion has to allow his son to be drafted by that team, and then that team wanting to have him be the coach to make it happen. You think that's such a Raider thing?
Let's hear from Deion. He says he's content.
I'm happy where I am, man. I'm good. I got a kickstand down. You know what a kickstand is? A lot of people don't in there and not of age don't know what a kickstand is. That means I'm resting. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm enthusiastic about where I am. I love it here. I truly do. Next question.
For now.
So none of that meant I won't leave.
No, it's November. This won't happen until April.
What's more believable? Like, you walk into your house and Butter is sitting in the kitchen by herself with an empty, what was once a plate of hamburgers is now gone.
Right.
And she looks up at you and you go, Butter, and she gives you the look of, no, not me. What's more believable, that or a college coach being asked anything about their future?
That's so true.
There's never truth. So why even have the conversation?
The great thing about Butter, she never denies it. She puts her head down and walks away.
Just walks out.
I did it. Yep, you got me. And then she'll poop out a ketchup packet.
I've heard that about her. It's an interesting thing that you said.
She just swallows it whole. And it comes out whole.
Two-time Super Bowl Eli Elite Manning has now reached, wait for it, guys, the Hall of Fame semifinals.
Holy crap.
That's right. As of Wednesday, the selection committee has cut a list of 50 nominees made by a brand new, these cuts were made by a brand new screening committee. The list includes 6 players in their first year of eligibility and 10 players who were finalists last year.
The whole thing has a skull and bones feel to it.
Eli Manning's there. Antonio Gates is there. Jared Allen also there. Yeah, respectfully, Eli's the worst of those 3.
That's not respect.
I said respectfully, though.
But that doesn't mean that it is.
He's the most accomplished, but the third best player of those players.
Who was the other one?
Antonio Gates and Jared Allen.
Oh. Well, listen, Antonio Gates was a special tight end. But he's just slam dunk better than Eli Manning?
I think as a player, he was a better tight end, I believe, as a player than Eli was quarterback.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
I don't know if that's how it works. It's really not.
Well, if you want it to work that way, it worked that way.
But it's not.
Yeah, he was a better tight end than Eli was a quarterback. But
Eli has 2 Super Bowls as quarterback.
Right, but you're saying who's a better football player, and one's a quarterback. It's a more impactful position. He won 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
Listen, Eli's a note. To me, Eli is an absolute. I said, the second he got number 2, I said, that's it. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't care how much. We can all go back and forth on how great he was as a talent.
But there are guys with 2, like Jim Plunkett has 2. He's not in. I think he's a first ballot too, but Jim Plunkett's not it.
Plunkett didn't do it the same way Eli did, though, did he?
He didn't beat the Patriots when they were 18-0.
That's what I'm saying. And what about beating him again?
You can't play the game because you're talking about a guy who played in the 70s and 80s. But in the 2 Super Bowl runs, trying to think what the years that they won, but it's a different world. I mean, he never threw for 3,000 yards, Plunkett. He had 120 touchdown season, but I'm not going to hold it against him because it was a different era.
It wasn't even, the football wasn't the same size. It was like a brick. They played barefoot. They didn't wear helmets.
But you know what? I'm sorry. In
there was no grass.
In 1983,
yeah.
Dan Marino's rookie year,
sure.
Dan Faust was throwing for 4,000 yards. And it was towards the end of his career. I get it. But, he threw for 2,935 yards, 20 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. Well, his overall career, he completed 52.5% of his passes. And how many touchdown passes did he throw?
52.5?
164 touchdown passes, 198 interceptions. He could have won 4 Super Bowls. He's not going at all.
That's a great point by you. Those are bad numbers. I mean, I don't even know if he was good at football.
But I do. One of the things I feel that is overrated is talking about how pedestrian Eli Manning was in the regular season. Like, I'm not saying he was awesome or he was a top 5 quarterback, but you're not pedestrian. He consistently threw for over 4,000 yards. He threw 366 touchdowns to 244 interceptions, completed 60.3% of his passes.
Now, Eli, it's overrated that Eli wasn't good, but I always say this, and I mean it truthfully and as respectfully as possible. Playing in the division against him during that era, I never was like, oh, no, the Giants are on the schedule. We got to watch out. You never know what Eli's going to do to us. There were times playing McNabb, even, for example, where you were like, oh, I don't want to deal with Donovan McNabb this week.
But in 2011, when he won his second Super Bowl, he threw for 4,933 yards. He almost threw for 5,000 yards. Now, he did throw a ton of interceptions, led the league in interceptions 3 times, but, Brett Favre says, hold my beer.
Yeah, well, no, he used to get, Eli sometimes got the Vinny Testaverde colorblind joke. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, when you throw to the other team that much. See, because Vinny Testaverde, there are probably youngsters out there who don't remember. Vinny Testaverde used to be the standard of bad quarterback. His name meant you're trash at quarterback. And then he came to the Jets, and this whole other thing happened and changed his story. But do you guys remember Tampa Vinny? I mean...
It shows you what a bad team can do to a quarterback.
Oh, my God. I mean, Fife Dog, God rest his soul, once famously said, your style is incomplete, just like Vinny Testaverde. You know what I mean?
I know.
He was the standard.
Now, it just shows you how bad the quarterbacking has been for the Giants since Eli. In Eli's last full season, 2018, when the Giants went 5-11, he threw for just a yard shy of 4,300 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not great. Could Daniel Jones do that?
No. By the way, speaking of which, today would be, what today is 24? Today would have been Fife Dog's 54th birthday. So rest in peace to Malik Taylor, a.k.a. Fife Dog, one of the all-time New York sports fans, one of the all-time Jets fans. I thought when Q-Tip, remember when they went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year? Mm-hmm. And I thought that, I haven't even checked on him. I don't even know where he might, Q-Tip may be fully checked out.
I have not heard from him this year. I think they broke Q-Tip.
You can't do that when it's in the year. Really
by week 3, wasn't that when he told me I'm out? I told you I heard
he was right. That was before the Denver game.
He was out.
So it wasn't like he was back in after the Denver game. You know what's also
amazing about getting back to the Woody Johnson thing for a second? Mm-hmm. He wanted him benched after the Denver game. That was following 2 straight wins.
Mm-hmm. Denver game was bad.
I understand, but they just won 2 straight.
He sounds like a caller.
Yeah.
He sounds like a caller we disconnect.
Woody from Florham Park.
I think they should bench that piece of garbage quarterback. Did you watch him against Denver? He couldn't even throw a touchdown pass. We're like, all right, thanks for the call.
He stinks.
Meanwhile, he owns the team.
Should we just change that? Should that be his new name? Woody from Florham Park?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great way of describing.
No. Show some respect. Ambassador Woody from Florham Park.
I love what you've done.
Ambassador Johnson?
All right, real quick to the other defunct team. Tommy DeVito on being named the starter.
It means a lot. Just another opportunity to get out in the field, showcase my abilities, play for my teammates in the organization.
What is your message to your teammates as you take over?
Same thing as it was last year. I'm going to give you everything I can on the field, my heart and soul into it all the time, leading up to it, the preparation, and ultimately going out and playing on game day, but most importantly, enjoying doing it.
How about Drew Lock on not being starter?
That's a question I might still have for myself. And Noah's expressed to me that I was going to be the two. And I don't know, it's just an interesting situation. Not much I can really say about it besides, again, I'm going to be here for him. And, we're still communicating, still very good friends, believe it or not. I'm going to be here for him. This team needs to get a win. And we start winning, everything gets a little better around here.
I feel sorry for the
That's not something Michael Kay would say, right?
No, I would. I was just scorch earth.
Even while still on the team. Hope we lose. Hope he gets hurt.
I'd say I don't get it. There's a bad decision by them, but look at what they've done in the last 20 years.
Can you really be surprised?
Yeah, no surprise here. I just took the $5 million. That's why I came.
And then would you mention another team, try to audition somewhere else?
No, and I wouldn't knock my teamate. That's not my way.
Love my
Off the record, I would.
Right.
Yeah.
You go, I love my teammates. You go, I love my teammates.
But I would call over like Paul Schwartz from the Post. This guy can't play.
Why would you single somebody out? Now you make a bunch of guys that cover the Giants feel bad. Why would you do that? There's a lot of good people that cover this team that listen to the show, and they're like, why did I lose out to Paul Schwartz?
On the imaginary scoop to Paul Schwartz.
And I go, Paul, this guy's awful.
Yeah, this guy can't play.
Everybody knows he can't play. But don't put my name to it, bud.
Now, what if you really liked him? What if he's not lying?
That he really likes him? Mm-hmm. Listen, I really like the guy. He can't play.
But part of your job as a bat. Wait a minute. I think,
and I'm not saying about DeVito. I don't know if he can play or not. He won 3 games.
I think he's fine. I think DeVito's
won as many games last year as Jones did.
Listen, to me, DeVito is trying to lock up. No pun intended.
Oh, but
can I be like a 9-10 year backup in this league?
Can I be Tyrod Taylor?
Like that? No, that's really, and that's a huge opportunity. Like, this is the difference. If Tommy DeVito's NFL career ends after this season, guys, he is not a rich man. If he plays well the rest of the year and becomes a career backup, it's called being a millionaire for the rest of your life. This is a big deal for Tommy DeVito.
Well, but Daniel Jones wants to do it first.
What?
He wants to be the backup
I know.
quarterback.
Well, they're both trying out to be backup quarterbacks for a long time. Although Daniel Jones, you have to imagine, still believes he'll get a starting chance somewhere.
Yeah, well,
Daniel Jones' only chance comes as this. He's going to get a chance to back up somewhere. And then he goes to a place that's pretty good.
Right.
And someone gets hurt and he comes in and they go, wow, he actually is good. That's his only shot. And I'm not saying, by the way, I do want to say, as hard as we've been on him, I do think he has ability in him that in the right place, it could go well. I don't think he'd ever be a superstar, but he could be on a winning football team. I do believe that.
In Arena League, you mean?
No.
I
believe he could be.
Could he do
CFL?
Could he do what he did in 22 with the Giants someplace else?
Yes, but with a
manage the game, good weapons, good coach, squeeze out 9 wins. Yeah, I could see that happening, but that's it. Like, that's the ceiling.
Okay, how about this? Could he do what Nick Foles did?
I can't believe Nick Foles did what Nick Foles did. When you look at what's happened to Peterson in Jacksonville, and what happened to Foles after that game,
it's insane.
Like, you talk about selling your soul.
No, it's amazing.
When you look at the way that aged, I think the Eagles beating the New England Patriots in that Super Bowl was a bigger upset than the Jets beating the Colts. Because at least the Jet-Colt thing aged well. I mean, Joe Namath went to the Hall of Fame.
It may be point God. That'll do it for ENN, brought to you by our friends over at Security Dodge. I had fun. I thought it was a hell of an E.
It was really good.
We did a lot of different things.
Good Ian. When we come back, I have a question to ask both of you about the landing spot for somebody. I don't know if you guys have an answer.
All right.
I don't know if you guys have an answer.
Yeah, I probably don't.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Coming back right here on Yes and 880 ESPN.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Managing my credit card debt was overwhelming, and it just wasn't a good place to be. My name is Carter, and Upstart helped me get rid of that credit card debt with a personal loan. Checking my rate with Upstart was super quick, super easy. It took me a few minutes to get my pre-approval and to get my interest rate. I got my money the next day. To just have one due date a month and only paying one person made my life a lot easier. Super easy to the point that I referred my friends to come and get a loan with Upstart.
Easy online borrowing. Personal loans up to $50,000. Go to upstart.com.
Oh, and we make great styles for her, too. Shop the sale now at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores worldwide.
If you're an asbestos victim, pay close attention. Billions of dollars are being paid out to people like you. We should know. We're Whites in Luxembourg, the law firm that already won over $9 billion for men and women just like you. That's right, over $9 billion for mesothelioma sufferers and their families. We know you're short of money, and we know you're short of time, so we fight hard. Call Whites in Luxembourg at 917-LAWYERS. That's 917-LAWYERS. Whites in Luxembourg, winning big for the little guy.
At this very moment, Doctors Without Borders is on the ground in communities around the world, delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most. Our teams are bandaging war-wounded patients caught in the crossfire in Sudan, providing clean drinking water in Haiti, and performing emergency C-sections in Yemen. Doctors Without Borders teams are in over 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving work is made possible by our movement of supporters, people like you who help our patients even when they're half a world away. At Doctors Without Borders, we won't stop working to bring our patients and their communities from crisis to care.
Did you get the Duracell batteries?
What's it matter? Batteries are all the same. Incorrect. Only Duracell is built different with Power Boost ingredients inside. Power Boost ingredients are a unique blend of nickel and lithium. No other batteries have them. Power Boost.
It's big, it's back, and it's only $6. Get the big box y'all love today. And this holiday season, you can order a Cajun-style turkey at your local Popeyes.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
test drive?
Absolutely. There's the all-new Kicks, the new V6-powered Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Consumer Guide's Best Buy 10 years in a row.
Finished with all your holiday shopping?
We are now. Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event. Now, get a low $229 per month lease on Rogue, one of 6 Nissan vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000.
Everywhere but the seat. The seat is leather.
Alan, we get it. You love your bike. We do too.
That's why we're America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
But do you have to wedge it into everything?
What? Don't do that. This reminds me of my bike. The Wolf was about the size of my new motorcycle. Have you seen it, by the way? Happy birthday, Grandma!
Really?
Look how the brushstrokes follow the line of the gas tank. Hey! Brought my +1. Jamie.
Black Friday football on Prime is back. An old school rivalry for a new game day.
Touchdown! I'm here all day!
The Raiders.
And it's intercepted!
The Chiefs.
All the way for the touchdown!
Friday, November 29th.
We got a game, boys!
Black Friday football. Kickoff at 3 p.m. Eastern. Pre-game at 1:30 p.m. Only on Prime.
What if you went to your secret hiding place and found this? All drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, know that you can quit. For help with drug use, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
Hey, I'm excited excited about this. I don't know if you guys are, but the Knicks are playing the Suns tonight, and making his first MSG appearance is Jamal Crawford, who, if you've heard him do games, is really extraordinarily good. So Walt Frazier is cutting down a bit on travel this year, I understand, and so I think Jamal's going to do about 10 games. So the pregame on MSG starts at 9:30. Tip-off is at 10. So I think it's great. I can't wait. I can't wait to see that game. And then obviously can't wait to hear Jamal Crawford. Big things for Jamal. Listen, I love Don. I think you know that.
Real quick, before you get to where you're going, because I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I've heard from Q-Tip.
Yeah.
Tell him I said hello.
He says, I said, we're talking about you. How are you? I'm sorry about this bleeping team, I wrote. You were right to get out when you did. He simply wrote, I can't, bro. And then I said, did you keep watching? And he said, hell no.
Love the
He's
tip.
out.
Love the tip.
Gone.
No, because when he said I can't, I thought it was him saying I couldn't quit him.
No. He can't.
No,
he can't deal.
quit.
No,
He was a Hall of Famer, man. You know what? I say this. I'm genuine. I don't think I'm exaggerating at all. I'm not being hyperbolic. He's above them.
No,
he's a rock and roll Hall of Famer.
No, he deserves
They're a
better.
dumpster fire.
No, he deserves better.
Yeah, he chose his partner poorly. His team.
Well, he didn't choose. That's the problem. People don't choose, though, Michael. They get handed these things.
Yeah, interesting.
Was it his dad?
I don't know. They're from Queens. They're all from Queens, and they're just tribes all.
The real authentic Q-tip that you put in your ear is that a Johnson & Johnson product?
I believe it is.
You don't
I think it is.
I believe it is.
Isn't that so serendipitous?
Circle, yeah.
But I don't. But be careful. All right.
Tread lightly.
I think you're going to the Hall of Fame, but you keep telling me, "Oh, you're stupid. I'm not going to the Hall of Fame." He's in the Hall.
He's already there.
Well, I know I'm not going in.
All right. Here's what we need. Tell us about what you were about to say about that.
I love Don. I don't know how I don't know how I would get through life without Don.
Well,
Don's my grounding person.
Keeps you normal.
But he's made this declaration in the past.
Right.
I've sworn off Doritos.
Won't touch him.
I will not touch them. So I saw him eating lunch today, and a bag the size of Mr.
not.
Ed's
Here it
head.
is. Here it is.
It's essentially potato chips wrapped in a Dorito. Is that a Dorito?
Look, I'm going to tell you right here. The wise people, send me the product if you like.
Wait, you mean the brand wise?
Yeah. So I had to get water. So I had to get 3 cases of water. By the way, they're charging like $6.50 for a case of water. What's
Everybody
going
drinks
on?
water now.
All right. I know it hasn't rained in a while, but we're good. So I said, I'm going to get myself a nice bag of chips for lunch instead of buying the bag downstairs.
You got Doritos.
So this will be a week.
But you got Doritos. That's
no,
I don't care that you're having
it's
that.
Weird.
What's the bag say, Peter?
Let me see. It says Ridges.
Cheddar and sour cream.
But now here's the thing. All right? Because you don't listen. For somebody that's a wordsmith, so much smarter than I am.
He interviews people,
Peter,
too.
I will have conversations with him. He doesn't listen to a word I say. You don't understand. I bought this bag of chips. Yeah, it's probably not great for me, but I wanted to have some chips with my lunch. And it'll last, a couple of weeks probably. I'm not going to dive that deep into it. I wanted to get some
How long
nice
have you
chips.
had that one?
I got it today.
But he doesn't.
Wait. What, you got that today? That's not going to last weeks.
I don't know, because
he's not listening to me.
No.
I don't care that he's eating potato chips. The guy does kickboxing. He's in great shape. He can do whatever he wants. He has unilaterally said, never do Doritos again. Those are essentially Doritos.
But it doesn't matter that they're essentially Doritos. I agree. They're Doritos adjacent. Because they're not Doritos. There's still chips in this bag. It'll still take days for me to finish.
So you think if
these were Doritos, there'd be bite marks in the bag, and it'd be completely empty.
But you as you would say, you're Tonka trunking. You're Tonka trunking right now. Why don't you just have Doritos?
Because I can't stop. Don't you understand? I'm addicted to Doritos.
But that's a Dorito.
This is the e-cigarette, where Doritos are the actual cigarette.
Pall Mall.
Do you understand? Yeah, without filter. So do you understand?
I get it. Yes.
That's the difference. I understand these are bad, but I can quit them. I can't quit Doritos.
Can you pass the bag, though, around, Michael?
Partake if you want.
No, that's all I'm doing.
There's also not that many left in there. It's not lasting a week.
Brown sure was in the office.
So real quick, there are 8 servings in this bag.
Right.
And you're down to the bottom.
There's a lot of, these bags, there's a lot of hair.
Well, you still had at least half the bag, though.
No.
You did. This is at least,
he's half in the bag, sure.
You half the bag.
Yeah.
So you probably had 4 servings of it.
Now, how much is that calorically?
That would be, if you had half the bag today, that would be 36 grams of fat.
Right.
And on 560 calories.
A lot of sodium, too.
But again, you're just as lost as he is. I didn't quit Doritos because they were bad for me. I didn't decide I'm going to pick a healthy alternative. No, this is worse maybe. But I can stop that. Yeah, they're showing the picture on that's a man with a problem. I recognize the problem.
But you did a lot of my only point is, if you're saying the big difference is the Doritos bag, you'd kill it in a day. This one will last a week. I'm just saying, I don't know if this is going to last a week.
Oh, but even if it doesn't, the fact is, I used to come in with Dorito bags. Look at the size of that Dorito bag. It's a pillowcase. All right? It's a pillowcase. I would eat a pillowcase of Doritos a day.
I love not a day.
To the fact that, look at what I'm doing to consume it.
By the way,
no, I'm being photographed. So that was a man with a problem. I eliminated the problem. These are nice chips. They're not great for me, but I can control myself. Don't you see the difference, Peter?
I do. I mean, it is a difference. I love that Yes has not only multiple different videos and pictures of it, but different colors. There's a Cool Ranch, there's a nacho.
There was a time that Yes didn't realize that I even was here. I was comic relief for those guys. I think I've won them over, but that was in the infancy where it was like, it's Michael and
what was your
who's
preference?
This appendage?
What was your preference, by the way? Cool Ranch? Yeah. Natalie loves Cool Ranch.
Why can't you have him, Don? You
why
go around once.
You know what? You're really the worst.
But because he's eating it anyway. That's what I'm saying. He's eating it anyway.
So you would go up to a friend who's trying not to drink and go, let me just get you this bottle of tequila. It's really good. You're going to like it.
You know what? I probably would.
You would do that.
Because if somebody really enjoys it, so the Doritos aren't destroying him. That's the least of his problems. Why is he stopping?
You don't think that contributed to Repug Don?
Yeah. That was a big part of Repug.
No, it's Don Repug anymore.
I don't even know why you stopped cigars.
Come on.
Well, the main reason I stopped them is because I reeked to high heaven. Nancy was disgusted by it. I don't need the kids to smell, that come home and smelling like a...
Then I buy that. I'm all in. But have yourself a Dorito.
No, I don't like what you're doing.
But I also know...
Why don't we do it at the holiday party?
And I quit cigars.
That'll be my Christmas gift
why?
to you.
I quit cigars cold turkey. Peter, there is nothing wrong when I'm on a road trip with the Rangers, sit back, get a nice old-fashioned, smoke a cigar, just one, and then not have another one. I can't. So what I know I'll continue to do. So I quit it cold turkey.
If I gave you a small bag of Doritos, you think that would set you off?
Yes.
Okay.
It would cause a major problem. Same thing with cigars.
All right, so Hal Steinbrenner spoke today about the Juan Soto situation. And we'll hear what the Yankee owner had to say, and also Dan Orlovsky will join us as well. It's Kayla Greco-Rosenberg and you on Yes and on 880 ESPN.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
Untuck It makes every guy look better. From tall to short, from big to slim. From our iconic button-downs for all shapes and sizes to a whole lot more. Try us today. Untuck It. We just make guys look better. Oh, and we make great styles for her, too. Shop the sale now at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores worldwide.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Mel. Is now good for a quick catch-up on your plan?
Yes, now's great.
Has anything changed since we last spoke?
You know what? Yes, I'm thinking more long-term.
Great. We'll make that change to your plan and adjust as needed.
This helps a lot.
Bye, Mel.
Bye.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
It's big, it's back, and it's only $6. Get the big box y'all love today. And this holiday season, you can order a Cajun-style turkey at your local Popeyes.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Dear non-stick surface. You're great for scrambling eggs, but to drive on, well, that's what it feels like when things get rough. Good thing we have amazing traction. Let's bond. Toyota all-wheel drive vehicles.
Get Black Friday savings all month long. Lease RAV4 with all-wheel drive for just $299 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
This winter, when you find yourself looking at this, don't do this, or this. When it comes to snow, go with Snow Joe, the #1 brand of cordless snowblowers. With ultra-powerful Ion Plus lithium-ion technology. Snow Joe's cordless snow shovels and blowers are the lightweight, cordless way to clear walkways, driveways, decks, steps, sidewalks, and yards.
So I've been using the Snow Joe products for several years now. I'm very happy and excited with the way that they work. I also have a battery-powered snowblower, which works amazing.
This handy grab-and-go snow shovel weighs less than 14 pounds, yet clears up to 300 pounds of snow per minute, throws up to 20 feet away with up to 70 minutes of runtime per charge. Got a bigger clearing job to handle? Forget about gas. Cut the cord and go with Joe. This 48-volt Snow Joe cordless blower clears over 10 tons of snow in 30 minutes on a single charge, about the weight of 5 pickup trucks. You only get that kind of power with Snow Joe's exclusive 24-volt Ion Plus battery technology with EcoSharp power management, driving a heavy-duty rubber-tipped steel blade auger that shreds snow without scratching the pavement and with 0 emissions. Best of all, it starts like this. Listen to how quiet it is.
After years of shoveling snow with a traditional manual shovel, my search led me to Snow Joe's cordless battery-operated snow blowers. Ended up being one of the absolute best purchases that I have ever made. Both me and my lower back, thank you.
Call now to order your Snow Joe today with prices starting at just $199.99. Or go online to snowjoeontv.com and pay as low as $19 a month. Order now and get 2 free gifts, a premium 3-year warranty, plus free shipping. A total savings of over $100.
Call 1-800-238-3495 or go online to snowjoeontv.com.
Your attention, please. You're watching Yes.
To Oreos and getting some Hydrox cookies instead. I can control myself with Hydrox, not with Oreos.
Yeah, that's all. It's all about control. Like, people don't get it. Like, Steve Brzezinski doesn't get it.
Oh, about a lot of things.
No.
I love Steve,
like,
but, you know.
It's like Don's snack choice today is vaping a Jace. You think you're being healthy, but you're really killing yourself slowly. I know that I'm cheating. I know that I'm not being healthy with those chips. That's not the point. The point is I can quit those. I can't quit Doritos. And I worked out today. I wanted to have a nice little treat with my rice bowl. I wasn't eating a roast beef sandwich.
With butter. He loves butter. Q-tips are not Johnson & Johnson products.
No, I heard. It's unfortunate.
Cotton Buds. That's the Johnson & Johnson product.
All right, so
if these were Doritos, there'd be bite marks in the bag, and it'd be completely empty.
Hal Steinbrenner in New York today for the owners' meetings, and he talked about a good meeting, that's quote, that included very honest back-and-forth dialogue with Soto. By the way, the Phillies are meeting with Soto and Boris today.
Why not everybody, honestly? From a PR standpoint, why would it hurt?
Now, Steinbrenner said today, our fans really enjoyed having him in New York. He's definitely a significant part of why we got to the World Series. I've got ears. I know what's expected of me. So, look, it's been a priority. We wouldn't have gone out to the West Coast if it wasn't. Then he was asked, well, do you think you're going to get him? Are you confident that you'll be able to re-sign him? He said, no idea. We'll be in the mix. I'll leave it at that. So there you have it. Now, here's the way the Yankees have a real good chance. If you look at the wherewithal of the organization, the business. Now, see if you follow me. Mm-hmm. The Yankees, as a business, is a much more profitable business than the New York Met business.
Okay.
I think that the revenue is 2.5 times what the Mets revenue is. Yankees own Yankees own Legends Hospitality. The Mets don't own SNY. Cohen doesn't own SNY, and they don't own the hospitality that provides the food in the stadium. So the Yankees have it over them in terms of what they bring in. Yankees actually bring in more money than the Dodgers too.
Right.
So of all the teams in Major League Baseball, the Yankees have the greatest wherewithal to get Juan Soto.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the difference. Is Steve Cohen willing to fund the transaction on his own? Not from net revenue, but from point whatever 27, I think the name of the company, from that revenue that built up $20 billion in personal wealth, because that's where you have the advantage. Is he going to do that? If he's just trying to run it, the Mets as a business, I don't know if he can compete with the Yankees in terms of the revenue, what they can.
Well, nobody could.
Right.
But I will say this. So the Yankees decide to spend that money from their revenue. It's a decent chunk of their revenue.
Well, I don't know exactly what their revenue is.
I don't know
it's
either.
2.5 times the Mets.
All right, 2.5 times the Mets. But if they've got to spend $600-700 million over the next 13 years, that's going to cut into their revenue. There's a world, and this is why we think Steve Cohen's got a chance, because we know the Yankees make way more money than the Mets do. But Steve Cohen is sitting on billions and billions of dollars. So if he decides to dip into his own wealth,
which he's done,
that's dipping. How much is he worth?
$20 billion.
$20 billion. What is $700 million over 13 years compared to $20 billion? It's not really a lot. It's not going to affect his personal wealth the way it's going to affect the Yankees' bottom line. If the Yankees are taking the money from what they make as a baseball team, that's going to take a bigger percentage than Steve Cohen's personal wealth. Steve Cohen can't take it out of the Mets. It might siphon their worth or take a large percentage of it.
They would lose money.
They would lose money.
Yeah.
But if he just leaves the Mets alone, let them on their own devices, based on let's let the Mets make the money what the Mets make. But I've decided I want to make my toy be worth a little bit more. I want a better chance to win. I own this team. I can do what I want. I'm sitting on $20 billion. $700 million over 13 years isn't really going to affect my bottom line as much. That's the thing that should be scary to all the other teams.
The $700 million is not going to come out totally of his coffers. The Mets can afford a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And then what he has to make up, if he chooses to, he goes into his own pocket.
But, he could technically go into his whole pocket for the whole thing.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he does own 95%. Yeah.
It would still count towards their revenue. But he doesn't even have to look at the bottom line of the Mets to dip in to make sure that he gets his $700 million. I'm just saying, to a person that's worth $20 billion, Michael, what would it end up being? $700 million over 13 years.
It's nothing, but guys that are that rich also are very smart with their money. How much of this hobby does he say, okay, I don't care if I lose copious amounts of money?
But here's the other thing, all right? Why are the Yankees worth as much as they're worth? Because they win every year, because they've got great star players, so they can charge a certain amount of money for tickets. There's a lot of prestige that comes with the Yankees because they win. But Steve Cohen can look at it and go, listen, I can't all of a sudden become the Yankees in the length of Soto's contract, but won't I become more important? Won't more people come to my ballpark? Won't I have a chance to compete more and more consistently and change the brand to where it will affect the bottom line of the Mets? If they're competing for a World Series every year during the length of that contract, Michael, and he continues to put money into the team where they're competitive every year, don't you think the Mets would then become worth more?
Again, they'd have, they probably worth more if they open the casino across the street, like they're trying to do.
But he's still trying to do that. I'm sure that's going to happen within the length of this contract. So there's things that are going to happen. Remember, he doesn't have to compete with the Yankees, but what he wants is a team that's going to make money and be able to compete. And if he believes Juan Soto can do that, and if he decides to dip into his own personal funds, that is the great equalizer. We all know when we talk about
the Mets, equalizer. It's the over the top.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've never, at least I haven't, I know you haven't, said the Mets have a chance based on their own value compared to the Yankees or even the Dodgers. But the fact that Steve Cohen's got all this money, that's what made him so attractive when he wanted to buy the team in the first place, is that he's bringing a mint with him.
Now, in the ESPN.com story, it said the Mets, buoyed by Steve Cohen's deep pockets, are widely considered as the Yankees' chief competition for Soto's services. Steinbrenner, when asked about Cohen's spending power, said, quote, I could say that about a couple of other owners too, or corporations for that matter, that represent the ownership group. So, I mean, of course, it's a concern.
Yeah. And by the way, I know I'm the Met fan on the show. I don't feel comfortable about this, that the Mets are able to build up their worth based on a guy that's sitting on $20 billion. Is that fair? Now, listen, I'll do it because, hey, listen, they're not breaking any rules. But, I mean, this isn't great. And you know the people are going to go nuts if the Dodgers get him. Like, we got to have something. You don't think there'll be people screaming for a salary cap if the Dodgers get him? After getting Yamamoto, after getting Ohtani, after having Betts?
Now, during last offseason, the Yankees established, quote, a walkaway number when negotiating with Yoshinobu Yamamoto. the owner said, quote, he had not thought about it, a walkaway number in regards to Soto. So that's where we stand right now. The Phillies are meeting with him today. So it's a varied group of people that are trying to sign Juan Soto because he is a generational player. Now, it's time now for the Dan Orlovsky Report, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of White Plains and Amazon Pickup. And we join our good friend, Dan Orlovsky. Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing great. The story in The Athletic today was illuminating, somewhat alarming. You played in the NFL. Do you ever recall an owner being that involved in personnel decisions and suggesting like lineup changes for a football team?
No, not in any word that I was, that at least I was aware of. You kind of hear rumors of certain places like that, you know, and obviously the Cowboys probably center in that conversation. You know, I heard about that story and that happened probably in week 4 or week 5. I had heard that.
Right.
I didn't believe it because I was like, there's no way. Like, there's just no way. And obviously, at least per the reports, that is exactly what happened. So, but I can't tell you that I've ever experienced something where the owner was that, I guess, quote unquote, hands-on.
So does that make the job less attractive for potential GMs and head coaches?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, think about it in the 30,000-foot view. Now, yes, if it's the opportunities are what they are in that league, right? So there's only 32 of them. That's totally fair to say. But you're going to go into the New York market, so that's a thing that you have to be capable of handling to begin with, and then you're going into that market, and by all accounts, you're hearing that the owner has that much say or that much opinion on what is going on a day-to-day basis when it comes to the football operation and the football play. And so you have to, as a general manager, how much say do you actually have as a head coach? Do you have, every head coach answers to their owner, but you don't answer to your owner in X's and O's that much, I can't imagine. So yeah, I think it makes it a less desirable place.
Do you believe that this story and that this has now come to light, Dan, that people can evaluate and look at the job that Saleh and Douglas did with an illumination that says, well, maybe they weren't as bad as the record indicates because they were led down this path by the owner?
I think so, absolutely. I think with Joe Douglas, you look at some of the kids that he selected, some of the guys that he selected, and you're like, man, he had some hits. Now he had some misses, of course, and obviously the Zach Wilson one is a big one. Most of the quarterbacks in that COVID class have been disappointments. So I do think that Joe Douglas is going to be sought after in this league. No question about it. And I think that obviously you've seen the unraveling ever since Robert was there, the lack of details ever since Robert was there. The defensive performance has completely plummeted ever since Robert was there. So I absolutely, you look a little bit more positively on Robert Saleh, just because this team, it feels like, has just become a laughing stock ever since Robert was there.
You know, we've batted back and forth whether or not, Rodgers would be back with the Jets next year. So it doesn't seem like Woody's in love with him, and you're saying no shot. But is there a place for Aaron Rodgers to play next year?
Again, it's hard for me to think that he's going to just willingly go out like this.
Right.
It's hard for me for him to accept that. Now, I do think it's fair to say Aaron's going to throw for probably 4,000-plus yards and 26 or 28 touchdowns and maybe 10, 12 interceptions. I mean, everyone's saying Aaron's playing awful. He's not. He's playing okay. He's not playing terrible. He's not playing great. He's playing kind of average. I hate the offensive system. Now it is. So is there a place for him? I think so. I just think because of the way this league is, I think there will be a place that goes, we'll take Aaron Rodgers and we'll see what we can get out of him. Steelers took Russell Wilson, and look where it's gotten them, you know?
The Giants won't admit that DeVito starting is because of adding some juice and personality to a team that's dead. Is there a metric that tells you that Tommy DeVito is a better quarterback than Drew Lock?
No, and why would I care? If I'm the Giants, why would I care that Tommy DeVito is better, slightly better, an upgrade over Drew Lock? I would love to know what Drew Lock is. I would love to know, can Drew Lock be our backup? Can Drew Lock play well enough where we sign him as a backup and we're going to draft the kid and he's going to be the veteran mentor? Can Drew Lock play well enough where we can use him as a trade asset? I mean, that's where I'm like, with the Giants, like, why would I care that Tommy DeVito is slightly better than Drew Lock? It does absolutely nothing for the future of my organization.
Yeah, I mean, and do you feel like, is there any chance that the league hasn't seen enough on Drew Lock where you could actually truly affect what his status and value could be?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Drew Lock is still younger in his career. He hasn't played a ton, and he's had moments when he's played, but he hasn't played a ton. He's been in two different places, and so you never know kind of what a guy's going to be in a certain situation in a different place. And so we see it with quarterbacks all the time that they go somewhere else and they play to a different style, the older that they get or a new opportunity that they get. So I don't think anyone's expecting Drew Lock to step in there and become, Sam Darnold. But we don't really know who Drew Lock is as a player.
Did the Bills convince you with that victory over the Chiefs that if they meet in the AFC that they will go to the Super Bowl instead of Kansas City?
They convinced me, yes. Now, you got to do it, obviously. But, before the season, I would not have said Buffalo can win the Super Bowl. I just thought the lack of high-end talent would be too much of a loss. Going off of this game against Kansas City, I feel like they can win the Super Bowl. And they went on the road versus Baltimore, and they played awful and got whooped. They went on the road against Houston, and they missed 5 big plays down the field, and they lose. This team, the way that they play defense, how connected the group is, Milano's getting healthy to pair him at linebacker with Bernard. The offense is humming. Josh is playing so well. He's the MVP of the NFL right now. They're playing capable of beating anybody in the conference.
Good stuff. I know you are not with us next week, so we will tell you today. Happy Thanksgiving. We love that you come on the air with us every Wednesday. Our listeners do as well. So thank you so much, Dan.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, and I'm grateful. Thanks, guys.
Take care, man. That was the Dan Orlovsky Report, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of White Plains, proud member of the Pepe Auto Group, the name you've trusted since 1968, and by Amazon Pickup. Amazon Pickup is a convenient and secure way to collect your Amazon packages from locations near you. 1-800-919-3776. When we come back, we'll go over every team in the NFL.
Oh.
And you will tell me where Aaron Rodgers could possibly fit.
Is that the question you wanted to ask us?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Is there a place?
Is there a place
in this
that
whole league, this
would
whole
absorb
wide
him,
league,
that say, yeah, I got to have him?
Oh, please.
Because, I mean, he's not handing in a glittering resume from the previous job.
No, he's not.
Yeah, the previous job, there were problems,
you can't even get a recommendation.
No
one to call. They're all fired.
They're all gone. He got everybody fired. So there's no references, none. I don't think Green Bay's going to help him with references.
I don't think that. I think it's gone.
Yeah. So it's going to be a tough sell. But Don talking about Mazda, not a tough sell.
Get the most for your.
We all want to feel safe when traveling. That's why if you see something that feels suspicious, such as an abandoned bag or erratic behavior from a passenger, just call 911. You can call anonymously, and it's okay if it turns out to be nothing. Work together with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to keep our transportation facilities safe. Visit PANYNJ.gov to learn more.
It's big, it's back, and it's only $6. Get the big box y'all love today. And this holiday season, you can order a Cajun-style turkey at your local Popeyes.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Untuck It makes every guy look better. From tall to short, From big to slim. From our iconic button-downs for all shapes and sizes to a whole lot more. Try us today. Untuck It. We just make guys look better. Oh, and we make great styles for her, too. Shop the sale now at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores worldwide.
Yes Network is now streaming on Fubo. Watch the Nets and more of your local teams. Streaming live on all your devices. Plus, over 350 top channels. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Mi embarazo con Maya fue normal. Todo estuvo bien hasta que nació. La cadera dislocada, ella a lo mejor traía consecuencias en la cabeza. Cada cirugía que ella requiere, creí que Dios me la iba a recoger. Lloraba como ahorita, pero mucho porque me la dejan. El hospital Shiner me dio mucha esperanza. Cada día que despierta, le doy gracias a Dios. Pueden encontrar algo que pueda hacer que mi hija tenga una mejor calidad de vida.
Por más de 95 años, los hospitales Shores para niños han ayudado a brindar esperanza a niños y sus familias, sin importar la capacidad de pago que tengan.
Con la ayuda de los hospitales Shiner, la vida puede ser muy milagrosa. Yo siento que Mayita todavía tiene mucho que vivir y que hacer. Todo va a estar bien, gracias a los hospitales de Shiner.
Visita moreshiners.org hoy.
In New York, all that anyone is looking for is a chance. In a place with endless possibility, New York Public Schools gives students the chance to find their voice in a chorus of millions, to play their first notes before striking a chord with the rest of the world, to learn small lessons in the gym before shining in the league, to not just study the stars, but see them up close. And every time you take a chance on the New York Lottery, our schools win.
I started having knee pain in my early 50s. I'm Phil Simms, pro football legend and TV analyst. My knee pain would wake me up during the middle of the night. It hurt me every time I played sports, if it was basketball, tennis, and even golf. I quit being active, and it got to a point where I want to be active, and that's why I'm sitting here today.
Arthritis Knee Pain Centers uses an image-guided procedure that allows them to place an all-natural cushioning gel directly into the affected joint, restoring mobility and relieving your pain without surgery or downtime.
I think what really surprised me is how easy it was and how there was no pain to the treatment.
It's covered by Medicare and most private insurance.
I have no pain. That's gone away, and I got to tell you, I feel great. I'm back to playing a little tennis. Played pickleball, which I said I would never do. Arthritis Knee Pain Centers, they relieved my pain and changed my life.
Call Arthritis Knee Pain Centers now and schedule your no-charge, no-obligation knee pain screening. Call 800-823-3160.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
test drive? Absolutely. There's the all-new Kicks, the new V6-powered Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Consumer Guide's Best Buy 10 years in a row.
Finished with all your holiday shopping?
We are now.
Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event. Now, get a low $229 per month lease on Rogue, one of 6 Nissan vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. Tomorrow night, Week 12 kicks off in the NFL with an AFC North matchup between the Steelers and the Browns. It's the penthouse against the cellar in the AFC North. One team going north, the other one continuing to head south. The Steelers have won 5 straight games. They're 4-0 with Russell Wilson as the starting quarterback. They have a plus 11 turnover differential. That's second in the NFL to the Bills plus 14. Cleveland is just scoring over 16 points per game in the NFL this season. There's only one team worse. And fans in the New York area, you know who that is. It's the New York Giants, who are clocking in under 16 a game. Cleveland is just 1-4 at home this season. Their only win was Week 8 against the Baltimore Ravens.
December 13th at Tommy's Tavern and Tap in Clifton, New Jersey. Looking forward to this. Get ready to spread some cheer with all of us with the doors opening at 2 p.m. Be there early, be there often, and we're going to have a great time. Grab your raffle ticket upon entry for the holiday giveaways and increase your chances by bringing up to 3 unwrapped toys for donations benefiting the Garden of Dreams Foundation. They do great work. Brought to you by Amazon Pickup, Shinesty, Yingling Traditional Lager, Sun Cruiser, and Western Beverage. 1-800-919-3776. All right, so Dan Orlovsky said no chance. That was what he just said. No chance that Aaron Rodgers comes back to the Jets. So it got me to thinking, well, where's a landing spot for him if he doesn't want to end his career this way? Let's start in the AFC East. Bills, no.
No.
Dolphins,
What happens if Tua suffers another concussion?
Right.
Good team, need a quarterback. So I would say a possibility depending on what happens the rest of the year.
You could put down I would put a little dot next to Miami.
Patriots, I don't think so. I mean,
No.
you didn't keep Tom Brady. Why are you bringing this guy in?
Yeah, and there's nothing there. What's he going there to do?
Pittsburgh, interesting choice.
No. They got an old man that's working with.
He's gone, though. This is 1 year and out.
But then the
do you go to Justin Fields, or do you say, listen, maybe this guy could make it work? He's played in cold weather.
I think Tomlin, knowing the kind of guy Tomlin is, he's setting this up to go to Fields properly next year. I think. Don, you don't think this is right?
But if you're not, then wouldn't you think about trying to bring Wilson back if he wins you the division, rather than go to Rodgers, who's been not good?
Right.
I mean, right now, is Russell Wilson a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers? Yes.
Yep. Ravens, no. Bengals, no. Here's an interesting one. Browns.
Yeah, there's talent there.
Does he want to go to a bad team, though?
Well, does he want to play? I mean, I don't really... Michael, I really think if he wants to play, he's going to have his hat in his hand. He's not going to be able to pick and choose the best places to go.
If you want to play, play on a bad team?
He will... how about this? I'll go the other way. This is going so bad, hat in hand is not an option. He would only consider playing if there was a team that came to him and said, we know what you're capable of right now. We've seen why you struggled. You would be great here. Give us a chance, please. I think my prediction is he knows how bad this looks. He has enough of an ego. He will just walk away and not want to play anymore.
AFC South, Texans, no.
I think they're good.
Colts.
Well, if Richardson, plays the way he played on Sunday.
Yeah, but he can't play the Jets every week.
That's just not an appealing. It's not an appealing enough situation. No.
Titans.
No.
Jaguars.
No.
I mean, they just signed. Yeah,
they just signed Trevor
this
Lawrence.
huge deal.
It's a mess.
AFC West. Chiefs, no. Chargers, no. Broncos, maybe.
Oh, well,
I mean,
if Nix gets into the
Nix has been
playoffs,
playing okay, but I mean, you could see him taking a chance.
Sean Payton?
Sean Payton.
Being like this,
yeah.
Maybe they just did it.
I mean, they did it with Peyton.
They did it with
Manning.
They did it with Peyton. It was a different team, different coach.
But if they make the playoffs, why are you going to make a change? If they
because
bottom
it could
out
take you
here,
to the next step.
But if they bottom out,
why would this guy take you to the next step?
If somebody sees something,
By
like
the way,
you said.
is Aaron Rodgers right now better than Bo Nix? I don't know.
I think he's better than Bo Nix.
By how much?
I don't know. But
a game or two? I mean, how much?
How about the Raiders?
That's the one that I think you could. Well, could you come up with a sexy play there just because it's a big splash?
Brady.
Now, what does he
Brady
want?
sign off on it?
Two California boys.
I know, but I mean, they seem like different people.
They're going to be in a position to draft a quarterback. That's where I think that's where Sanders is going to go. So if that's going to be the case,
Deion and Shador?
Yeah. So does he want to be a part of that to groom the next quarterback? Deion Sanders as his head coach.
It's a lot.
But it is Vegas. It's warm. It's an appealing place to go finish your career. But with having to be in the same division with Kansas City and now L.A., you're not going. You wouldn't think you're going to do anything.
Does he feel like getting drubbed by Mahomes and Herbert every year? I mean, every few weeks.
Let's go to the NFC.
No.
Eagles, no.
I think they're good.
Commanders, no.
I think we're good.
Cowboys just signed a big money contract.
Nope.
Yeah.
And the Giants, I mean, they've seen it close up.
That would have been. Wouldn't that be interesting?
NFC North, Lions, no.
No.
Vikings.
Okay. Now the Vikings are 8-2, with Sam Darnold as their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's a free agent at the end of the year, so I don't know where the money is going to go.
He's getting it somewhere.
Why would you have an appetite to not sign Sam Darnold and bring in Aaron Rodgers?
I'll tell you why. because Sam Darnold's going to want a multi-year contract. This was his year. This was his playoff year. So he does that. He does great. Why would the Vikings, who have J.J. McCarthy sitting there, sign this guy to a long-term deal?
All right, but so you have J.J. McCarthy, who's
no idea,
and also he lost his rookie season due to injury, so he's starting from scratch. So would it be awful for him to watch another year and then you have Sam for the next couple of years trying to compete to try to make the playoff? I don't know. I think you put the same dot next to them. You put Miami. I still think Sam Darnold's a better quarterback. You do have McCarthy. I see the symmetry of wouldn't it be interesting that he goes the same place Favre went? But yeah, I'll put a dot next to that.
Packers, no. Bears, no. South, Atlanta Falcons, they have 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, and Cousins just signed a 4-year contract. They are in first place, although boy did they look bad on Sunday.
Tampa Bay Bucks, they just signed Mayfield to a long-term deal.
No.
New Orleans Saints.
What did they sign Carr to, which is 2 wasted seasons?
I think it was a 5-year deal.
I don't know what their money situation is. Yeah, maybe.
Carolina Panthers?
Their money's not good. No, why would he want to go to the Panthers? And the Panthers are... I mean, if he wants to play, but that doesn't seem to be a place.
And the NFC West, Cardinals, no. Rams, no. Seahawks.
I mean, Geno Smith's doing all right.
Yeah.
They're 500. No.
And this is the intriguing one.
Yeah, I thought about this.
Some of the bloom has come off the rose.
A little bit.
With Brock Purdy. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
This is his dream job. This is his dream spot. This is where he wanted to be drafted.
And as we've always pointed out,
we're talking about the 49ers.
They're always one notch from a Super Bowl.
Right.
Here's why it's intriguing to me. Well, let's say San Francisco never gains any traction. They finish 500, miss the playoffs, which is definitely on the table. You're paying Purdy nothing. You don't know now.
Pretty much.
You don't know now because he didn't have a great year. Would Rodgers go, because it's San Francisco, a chance to compete with Purdy for the job? And maybe lose, and maybe have to back up Purdy, but would he still do that because it's San Francisco? It's the team he grew up watching. Maybe the team could be really good. It's an injury away from maybe replacing him. That would be the one place I wonder, would he accept a lesser role to stay in the NFL because it's the 49ers, because it's home?
He'd have to accept a lot less money.
So think about it, Michael. We're talking about what? 3 maybes?
Yeah.
4 maybes? There's no... If he goes into the dark room and he plays the final, what has he got? 6 games, the way he's played the first 11.
But his numbers will not look that terrible.
They won't look terrible,
we watch
but
them
we
all
know.
the time. We know.
Come on. If I could see it, I'm sure he sees it. And he goes into the dark room to think about it. What's the answer going to be? I'm not going to have any great options. I'm coming off, 2 lost seasons. I'm going to be 42 years old at the end of next year. Peter, if it was a debate 2 years ago, what is it now? I think he's done. Unless all of a sudden he plays well these last 6, and then it becomes intriguing, and Tua gets hurt and suffers, God forbid, another concussion, and the Dolphins are looking for a quarterback, and they orchestrate something there. It's not feeling like it's going to happen, guys. He's going to have to really play well these last 6 games. He's coming off a bye, playing a Seattle team at home, the winnable game. If you don't see something out of him next week coming out of the bye, then what hope would you have for next year?
It just seems like if someone's crazy enough to try again after what we've seen, the only thing that they could be basing it on is the reason he looked this way is because he's with the worst organization in sports.
Or he might be hurt.
No, but I'm saying if they're erring on...
But he might be hurt.
But to me, if it's hurt, you're not trying again. He's 41 years old and hurt. I hope we can get him all the way healthy.
What if it's like a hamstring or something like that?
Then I would view that, and I think any reasonable football man would view that as if it's that. So you're telling me 2 years ago his Achilles took him out for the year. The next year he was hampered the entire season by a hamstring. Yeah, but now at 41, let's run him back out.
Yeah, you think it's going to get any better?
That would be nuts. So to me, if you want to roll it back with Rodgers and you're another team, the only thing you can be thinking is we are going from a joke franchise who didn't have a head coach and no one would know that if they believe it more than San Francisco, who had Saleh in the first place. We're going to put him with Kyle Shanahan, the best coach in football, one of the best coaches in football, and we're going to be on a great franchise.
Let me ask you this. All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Yeah, we're ready.
Brace yourself. Rodgers plays pretty well the last 6 games. Looks good. Closes out the season well. They missed the playoffs. And now they're looking for another head coach and general manager. What if there is someone that wants the job and wants Rodgers to be their quarterback? Hey, I'll take the Jet job, but I want Rodgers because I think he's got another year left. Is Woody going to be, no, you can't have the job, or is he going to fall over himself and go, okay, you can have the job, and you got to have, I mean, I don't know if there's a general manager, head coach that would say, I want Rodgers.
Well,
but
why
if he
wouldn't you
plays
say
well,
this, though? Well, why wouldn't you say this? You're that coach, you're coming in, you're looking at their record, they end up 4-13. You'll be in play potentially for one of the quarterbacks. And you go, I want to draft a quarterback, and next year I want to play Aaron Rodgers. And that's my plan. We're going to grant the quarterback of the future right now. Obviously, Rodgers is in no place anymore to go, I deserve weapons. Don't go draft a quarterback. And then you go, I'm going to run out Rodgers next year and then get to the quarterback.
I'm not saying Rodgers chooses the coach and general manager. I'm just saying that it's already an unattractive job based on the article we all read yesterday. But they say, hey, you got some talent here. Rodgers played well at the end of the season. I'm going to draft a quarterback, but I want my bridge quarterback to be Aaron Rodgers. That, to me, sounds more feasible than him going to Minnesota or Miami or any of these other places we talked about, right?
Yeah, but again, Orlovsky said no chance that he comes back to the Jets, but I guess things could change by who they hire.
Right. Listen, you're right now in PR hell if you're the Jets, right? Mm-hmm. Is Woody right now thinking, I'm going to hire Rex. I want to win some of the fans back. The fans love him. It's the last successful coach that we've had. I'm going to run it. I don't know. Maybe I'll run it back with Tannenbaum. Bring them both back. Rex has already said on record that he would bring back Rodgers. He'd work with Rodgers as long as Rodgers would agree to changing the offense, which I think he wouldn't have a kick coming.
Tannenbaum told Barton Hahn's show today he will not come back.
Okay.
We'll see, though.
But there could be another general manager that would work with Rex. I don't think Rex would do both. I don't think he can do both. No offense to Rex, but I don't think at this stage he'd want to do both. But can you see the Jets doing that? Throw him a bone?
It's a bad way to run a team, but I can't say that they know how to run a team, so who knows? Let's go to Matthew in Connecticut. Matthew.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
So you just touched upon one of the reasons I think it could be the Steelers. I'm a Steelers fan. Going from one of the worst-run organizations to one of the best. You know, before Aaron went to the Jets, the Steelers were definitely one of the picks people were talking about.
Right.
Tomlin clearly respects Rodgers. There was that game where there was that whole he called the timeout so Rodgers couldn't get the penalty. You know, he would be going to a situation where it's Tomlin's team. It wouldn't be Rodgers' team. And maybe if Rodgers realizes, hey, that's my best chance to win is to have a strong coach. I know it all looks strange right now because Russell Wilson's playing well for the Steelers, but you never know. I think it could be a possibility.
Well, I agree. That's one of the teams we think is a possibility. And now they have inside information on Fields. They know exactly what they have in Fields. And although Fields got off to a 4-2 start, when Wilson was healthy, he was out. He's out. And they moved Wilson in, and Wilson's been undefeated since then. So they know what they're doing. But also, Aaron Rodgers can't play his reindeer games with Mike Tomlin.
But much like Minnesota, the way you end up losing Wilson is that he prices himself out because he has this great year and he decides to go someplace else. But, Michael, if they win this division, which I guess is on the table, right? They just beat the Ravens. Cincinnati can't get out of their own way. If the Pittsburgh Steelers win the division, make a run in the playoffs, why wouldn't you try to bring Wilson back? And if you're Russell Wilson, where else would you want to go? Because I can't imagine people are going to give big money to Russell Wilson.
I can't either.
You know, so and the same with Minnesota. Even though you got McCarthy there, if Minnesota, obviously they have to settle for a wild card because they're not Detroit. But if they go to the playoffs, win a playoff game, are you looking to get out of the Sam Darnold business for Aaron Rodgers?
That is like he's really going to elevate you that much more. How could he?
Right.
But he hasn't been better than Sam this year.
But it becomes like Rodgers a one-year proposition, and then you could turn to J.J. McCarthy.
So you think
Darnold's
Sam is going to
want more? Yeah.
Sam's going to get a 3-4 year deal somewhere?
I think so. But then you have to wonder where is he getting that?
Right.
And by the way, what numbers you get? What number do you give Sam Darnold?
Not a lot, because again,
it's not a lot anymore.
I don't think it's going to be some kind of blockbuster deal.
No, but it's what, 35, 40 million?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
which isn't bad. But let's see how this ages in Minnesota. Okay, Sam's been really good, relatively speaking, based on what we saw when he was a Jet. But let's see how this finishes out. Because if it doesn't finish out great, then they just might have a quarterback dilemma. But if it finishes the way it's gone, I think they'd want to bring him back.
1-800-919-3776. We'll come back, take more of your phone calls, and right now at Bay Ridge Honda, you get.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Get Black Friday savings all month long. Lease Tacoma for just $289 a month, or get 1.99% APR for 72 months on a new Tundra. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Mel. Is now good for a quick catch-up on your plan?
Yes, now's great.
Has anything changed since we last spoke?
You know what? Yes, I'm thinking more long-term.
Great. We'll make that change to your plan and adjust as needed.
This helps a lot.
Bye, Mel.
Bye.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
At Domino's, we're all about cheesy. From our melty oven-baked pastas to our new 5-cheese mac and cheese. And for a limited time, Domino's Rewards members can try our new mac and cheese for half off points.
The doctor said I only had a 29% chance to find you. But I knew you were out there. Every night, even when my heart was sad, I wished for you to sign up. I got so sick that I couldn't go to school, but I still made people laugh. But when we matched, it was the best day ever. Dear donor, your blood stem cells saved me from leukemia. Thank you forever and ever and ever. Sincerely, Owen.
Experience the true joy of saving a life at nmdp.org.
Taste is not an option. Taste is everything. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
It's big, it's back, and it's only $6. Get the big box y'all love today. And this holiday season, you can order a Cajun-style turkey at your local Popeyes.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Untuck It makes every guy look better. From tall to short, from big to slim. From our iconic button-downs for all shapes and sizes to a whole lot more. Try us today. Untuck It. We just make guys look better. Oh, and we make great styles for her, too. Shop the sale now at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores worldwide.
If you're an asbestos victim, pay close attention. Billions of dollars are being paid out to people like you. We should know. We're Whites and Luxembourg, the law firm that already won over $9 billion for men and women just like you. That's right, over $9 billion for mesothelioma sufferers and their families. We know you're short of money, and we know you're short of time, so we fight hard. Call Whites and Luxembourg at 917-LAWYERS. That's 917-LAWYERS. Whites and Luxembourg, winning big for the little guy.
When you finally agree on a festive movie. When friends turn up unannounced. When your festive baking is just too good. M&M's for all fun kind.
Amazon Black Friday week starts November 21st. Woo! Woo! With new deals added every day. Woo! Shop Black Friday deals on Amazon. Woo!
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
The baseball offseason is heating up fast on Yankees Hot Stove, presented by Hexclad.
Soto is a generational talent.
It is going to dominate the offseason. We're grinding through it, and when everybody's on the clock.
We're turning up the heat on the Yankees Hot Stove season premiere, Monday, December 2nd at 6:30, presented by Hexclad.
When you order Domino's online, we'll give you a free pizza to use for a future pizza emergency. So you'll have an emergency pizza. A free pizza when you need it most.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Cancer is one journey no one should take on alone. Your support helps us bring together the best doctors and scientists, accelerating research that's leading to more effective treatments. Join us, and let's go further together.
Visit linkedbylovetv.org to learn more about kidney disease, transplantation, and prevention. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
Reading a spot. He revealed a lot today on a podcast. Did you see this?
No.
What's the most unusual place that you've ever broken a story? And he was like, really, like, well, do we have that? Let's listen to Adam here. Really, he revealed a lot.
Weirdest place you've broken a story is what?
I can remember being in Denver one time, and I was. How do I say this? I had just spent time with this woman for the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
And got a text that Dale Carter was being suspended. I think it was for 8 games for substance abuse. And so, as I continued to lay there, confirm it, and got the job done, Kevin, in every which way.
Huh?
What podcast was that?
This is football.
Never seen that side of Shefty.
Yeah, Shefty.
Why don't we need to get Shefty on and have segments like that with Shefty?
Right. Like what we had yesterday with
You know what we called the segment?
What's that?
Shefty laying hefty. You know, and he tells us the stories, laying it down. Listen, I didn't bring it up. He did.
No, he did. No, Steve did. The guy
Steve did. Yeah, sure, Steve.
Let's go to Ed in Newark. Ed. Hello, Ed.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for taking the call.
You got it.
You know, I'm a Giant fan, but I watch, you know, all the games, and particularly, you know, being in the New York area, I watch the Jets. And with regards to Rodgers, quite frankly, I don't see how a team would take him on. Number one, you have the age. Number two, in the latter part of his career, he's just become a pariah. The guy, even when he's hurt, he wants to be relevant. He's saying all types of outlandish stuff about God, social issues, political issues, whatever. But if you're a team that's looking to make a playoff run, potential Super Bowl contender, outside of the physical, physical issues that you get with a 41-year-old that's had some injuries, you've got a guy who's just not good in the locker room. And if you're a team that's on the cusp of making a playoff run or even the Super Bowl, you probably think that you have a good locker room.
But one thing, Ed, from everything that we've heard, he's very good in the locker room. That the players really like him. Maybe there's some splintering of that now, because this whole thing's falling apart and his fingerprints are on the bad play. But everybody talks publicly, and you don't even hear behind the scenes that they hate him. Seems like a good teammate.
I mean, we live in an era now where if there was any disgruntled teammates, you probably would hear it. I mean, the Giants aren't shy. Dexter Lawrence wasn't shy about the benching of Daniel Jones. Mm-hmm. So I think he's a good teammate, but we went from this guy can win me a Super Bowl to now exactly how good is he? Now, if he wants to play and he doesn't mind being a backup, then there'll be a team that'll sign him and hang around, but I don't think he's going to want to do that.
What great player would ever want to be a backup? I mean, can you imagine Tom Brady going, But he doesn't have to hang on. I think he has something to prove. He can't prove anything on the bench.
Well, but the only way would be that just, all right, listen, I got no way to prove it now, but I got to play. I can't walk away and decide to come back at 43, having not played 2 of the last 3 years, and expect to be able to do anything.
I would think if he's offered a backup job, he'd retire.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But what I'm asking is, Michael, if it's just that there's no opportunities, Would it be better to, all right, take a backup job and hope that something opens up and you can prove yourself that way? If you walk away from the game, then it's over.
Yeah.
You failed.
Right.
But if you hook up somewhere and that quarterback gets hurt and you lead that team to the playoffs, then didn't you prove something?
Yeah, but it's a huge gamble. I think that he'll go into some kind of like, I'm thinking about it aspect. He'll have a representative of his feel around to see what's out there. And if the only thing that's out there is a backup and he has to wait for somebody to get hurt, I don't think he'll do it. He's got too much pride.
Now,
He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Now, we said, no shot in Carolina, right? Because they're not good. But could he prove something by going to Carolina, being their quarterback and winning, finishing 500 and walk away saying, look what I was able to do, take the worst team in the league and win 7-8 games? I don't know what if he's trying to win a Super Bowl, Michael, I don't think that's on the table anymore. I don't think he's got the ability to play at the level to win a championship. But if he's looking to just hang around and prove people wrong, like, hey, I can play in this league, I can do some things in this league.
No, he could Nick Foles a championship, maybe, but Nick Foles threw the ball downfield. I mean, when you think about Nick Foles' championship run, guys, he made big throws. I don't think that's there anymore. I don't think it's on the table.
You know what I was startled? I mean, every judgment of Rodgers was colored by Brady. And then you forget how great Brady was. The last year he played, when he was 45 years old, he threw for 5,000 yards and walked away. 5,000. He was, this is a unicorn. This guy's not that guy.
There's no shame.
Everyone kept pretending, though. It was just like, Brady. Come on, man. Rodgers, real quick, guys. Tom Brady lasted till 45 years old because for the last, what was it, Michael, 5, 6, 7 years, he never ate a gram of sugar. He never had a drink. He never did anything. Aaron Rodgers' version of getting older was going on ayahuasca trips.
Right.
These are not the same guys. I may take point guard and close out the week with that. I'll see you on Monday.
Wow.
It may happen.
What, so it's Thursday and Friday?
Well, I think I already have. Oh, I only have one so far?
Only have one.
Oh, sorry.
Pull
That'll
back
put me at 2 if I get it today.
Pull back.
Where are you at?
I'm at 1.
I don't have any.
But Don could still get, even if I won today.
I would bet my life that point guard's in the can.
Sometimes you can pull. Don, sometimes you reach
look through the glass and see if they got an appetite to do that.
You're disrespecting him at the last minute. I respect these men. I will not devalue these men. I will not devalue these men. Not before they've said the point.
It's a real heavy thing you just dropped right before a break, too. Hey, Michael K. here to tell you about my friends.
There's no place like the road home. Receive a $5,500 bonus on the new 2024 Audi Q5 plug-in hybrid during the Season of Audi sales event.
It's big, it's back, and it's only $6. Get the big box y'all love today. And this holiday season, you can order a Cajun-style turkey at your local Popeyes.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
This winter, when you find yourself looking at this, don't do this, or this. When it comes to snow, go with Snow Joe, the #1 brand of cordless snowblowers. With ultra-powerful Ion Plus lithium-ion technology. Snow Joe's cordless snow shovels and blowers are the lightweight, cordless way to clear walkways, driveways, decks, steps, sidewalks, and yards.
So I've been using the Snow Joe products for several years now. I'm very happy, excited with the way that they work. I also have a battery-powered snowblower, which works amazing.
This handy grab-and-go snow shovel weighs less than 14 pounds. It clears up to 300 pounds of snow per minute, throws up to 20 feet away with up to 70 minutes of runtime per charge. Got a bigger clearing job to handle? Forget about gas. Cut the cord and go with Joe. This 48-volt Snow Joe cordless blower clears over 10 tons of snow in 30 minutes on a single charge, about the weight of 5 pickup trucks. You only get that kind of power with Snow Joe's exclusive 24-volt Ion Plus battery technology with EcoSharp power management, driving a heavy-duty rubber-tipped steel blade auger that shreds snow without scratching the pavement and with 0 emissions. Best of all, it starts like this. Listen to how quiet it is.
After years of shoveling snow with a traditional manual shovel, my search led me to Snow Joe's cordless battery-operated snowblowers. Ended up being one of the absolute best purchases that I have ever made. Both me and my lower back, thank you.
Call now to order your Snow Joe today with prices starting at just $199.99. Or go online to snowjoeontv.com and pay as low as $19 a month. Order now and get 2 free gifts, a premium 3-year warranty, plus free shipping. A total savings of over $100.
Call 1-800-238-3495 or go online to snowjoeontv.com.
The hottest ticket in town just got a holiday makeover. That's right, we're unboxing unbeatable values for your home every Friday in November. We're talking beautiful bedroom sets, dining sets in multiple heights and shapes, best-selling mattresses, feature-packed power sofas, pop-up sleeper sofas for hundreds less than other national retailers, decor and more, all at wow-worthy prices. I think we sufficiently wowed him. So check back every Friday for a new unboxing, because every day is like Black Friday when you dare to compare at Bob's.
Everywhere but the seat. The seat is leather.
Alan, we get it. You love your bike. We do too.
That's why we're America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
But do you have to wedge it into everything?
This reminds me of my bike. Look how the brushstrokes follow the line on the gas tank. I had no idea this was a motorcycle exhibit.
There's no place like the road home. Receive a $5,500 bonus on a new 2024 Audi Q5 plug-in hybrid during the season of Audi sales event.
A team grows in Brooklyn. Board by board. Block by block. Play by play. Shot by shot.
We got Nets.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
You got a minute?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Cancer is one journey no one should take on alone. Your support helps us bring together the best doctors and scientists, accelerating research that's leading to more effective treatments. Join us, and let's go further together.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never, ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly. To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
Hey, small business owners, your company may need to file its beneficial ownership information with the federal government.
Your attention, please. You're watching Yes.
Could have been more right. It was in the can, because that wasn't a great take at all.
I've had better.
Yeah.
I actually think my take was better.
Yeah, well, he's right. It was in the can. They didn't want to do the production value.
Is that true, guys? You didn't think that?
You didn't know how many point guards you had. That eliminates your ability.
No,
to get point
the point guard was Tom Brady. What's the biggest difference between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers? One stopped eating sugar. The other does ayahuasca. That's beautiful.
That is a nice.
It's a nice point. It's concise. Can I make an appeal?
Sure. To whom? The people that actually make the decision?
Like, I want to get...
Tom wants no part of doing this.
I want to get, like, lawyers to appeal this.
Tom got insulted today by Ty Butler.
Is that right?
On the air.
What do you mean?
He said, you sound very nasally when you talk. Tom took it very poorly.
Was that a broad observation, or did he think maybe he had a cold?
I'd like to think it was a broad observation.
Oh, wait.
I could hear the hurt in Tom's
Ty
voice.
said it about Tom?
Yeah.
In what setting?
Because Tom does, what's the name of that segment again?
That'd be Audio File.
Audio File.
On Bart and Hahn.
Right.
That's right.
And Tom was doing the audio file.
And was Ty filling in?
Yeah, he was filling in for Bart.
Wow.
Okay.
So he just said, by the way, Tom, you sound like you're talking through your nose. Really, you heard him.
But Ty has a very nasal voice.
You want to hurt
Ty
now?
I always joke, Ty sounds like Q-Tip. Don, we've discussed this. Haven't we?
Yes, I think we have. Now, listen, if you prep, you don't need to fill time like that. Now, there was an announcement that on December 13th, there's going to be a 30 for 30, the New York Sack Exchange.
Right.
I think people have already known this. It's not like any breaking news. But I wanted to ask Peter, it's being narrated by Method Man. Would Q-Tip have been a better selection? Or he doesn't do things like that? Or is Method Man the better selection?
Q-Tip would be much less likely to do it. I'm not saying he wouldn't want to do it, but if he did do it, it would be harder to get him locked down. He'd have more probably I don't like the sound of this. Maybe.
Oh, really? Okay.
So this is METHOD.
Yes, METHOD, man. METHOD, man. Hey, you get off my cloud. You don't know me, and you don't know my style.
Wow.
It's a really good. It's a terrific album.
It's one of the great songs of all time. No, Method Man's the right choice. Great voice. I'm sure was psyched to do it. Q-Tip would want to do it in theory. I don't know if he'd actually feel like doing it. That make sense?
For somebody who's out, this is nostalgia for him.
Yeah, this is a nice thing to relive at least.
Now, I don't want to start a beef with the Tip, but you can't be out. If you're a fan, you can't be out.
Another big gulp from Don. By the way.
Don, what are you doing? Sounds like you're drinking the ocean.
It's unreal, right?
I've heard it 3 times. I didn't want to say anything.
You 3 times?
3 times.
I don't know what to tell you.
Why don't?
That's what he's doing.
I'm not gargling.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Why don't you say anything? You call me out when I do anything.
Yeah, what's the matter?
Because it's old now. We know.
No, the gulp is new.
It's a new gulp.
But what are you doing with the gulp?
I don't know.
The mic is on. Do you realize that we're doing a radio show?
I'm not sure.
A 3.5 hour spectacular. What are you doing?
I'm humbled by it. I don't know what to tell you.
Where's the gulp from the other day? I don't even see it. They don't even keep it. What was that? Do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
Listen again. Hold on. What's wrong with this guy?
But again, they're enhancing.
It's still, but it does sound that way.
But I'm just saying that it's a PED drop.
Enhanced.
It's enhanced.
It's troubling.
Stop
I'm not going to say that.
Stop it.
Really,
No,
I'm not going to say
stop
that.
it.
You have to stop.
Yeah, you have to stop it.
Do you think Buttle's in the 30 for 30? I'm sure he's got a lot to say about the sack exchange.
I don't know.
Got to find out. I have to reach out to
the sack exchange. I have to say it's a mouthful as a nickname.
It's a great nickname.
Well, it's not even that. It's the New York Sack Exchange, so it's even more of a mouthful.
Because of the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, you kind of need that. You kind of need the New York on it.
Right.
Without it,
well, only your filthy mind deviates to that. And deviate being
do you think he was going
Yes,
there?
Oh, yeah,
he was.
I was.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it should be called the sack
you're
exchange.
so busy slurping down water, you don't even get it
But
anymore.
I don't get the whole
You don't get the reference?
I get sack, but I don't get the exchanging part.
Well, me neither, but it's just over and over again with the sack this, the sack that. You need the New York part to make it really work, to remind you of the
New York
Stock
Exchange. Yeah,
sure.
I
mean, it would be better if it was
a lot.
The New York Stack Exchange would be better than sack. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I think you're being childish.
They sacked the quarterback.
I get it, but
they're in New York.
But it's not that close to stock. Sack, stock, it's a bit of a reach, is all I'm saying.
Now, I have some advice for Tommy DeVito, and I think I'm being nice here. This is your opportunity to really cement your place in the NFL for a long time. And this is no knock on his agent.
Oh, boy.
Don't do that again.
Which part?
All of it.
Like him on the field.
All of it. In the outfit with the hat. Don't do it. Don't be a sideshow. Be an NFL quarterback.
It's a great story just on its own.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, what's the agent's name? Vito Stellino, I think. Listen, Sean Stellano. Okay.
Wait. Hold on.
It was a nice
I just want everyone to be clear that Michael is Italian. Because otherwise, what was his real name?
Sean Stellano.
And you said Vito Stellino?
I apologize, and my late Uncle Dan Aiello apologizes. But you know what I'm saying? Every time he did something, he's there with the hat and all that.
No, it's too much.
Don't play into the stereotype. You're an NFL quarterback, Tommy.
What about this?
No, I don't even think I would do that if I was Tommy.
I'm holding up the Italian fingers.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think on a really, if they're winning a game,
right,
like legitimately winning a game, and he hits a big touchdown to hit this with the receiver,
right,
especially if the receiver comes and does it to him,
right,
cool. But like, I don't think he should, in his first game, he throws a big completion. He's got to be mindful of the celebrating.
You want him to advance on his talent, not on the sideshow.
Oh, and by the way, I got it. This is the really important part. Could be my second point guard that I won't get awarded today. Mm-hmm. The whole Italian New York-y vibe he's giving, that really only is going to play great here.
Right.
You go to Minnesota, they might like it a little bit. It's not going to hit the same way it hits here.
And it's not going to hit the same this time around.
And this time it already happened. So
now he's got to play. He played okay last year.
No, he was pretty good.
He was 3-3.
Like I said earlier, that's a guy who has enough talent. He could be playing for a lifetime or a 10-year NFL career.
Right, a really nice backup role.
Or maybe even you get a run sometime. You never know. Look what happened to Sam Darnold. But, yeah, I agree. It's more so than the celebration. Let the fans be into it. If that agent guy is still his agent, that guy should do the work behind the scenes. If he shows up, he should be wearing a suit and sitting where normal. He should be low-key the way all agents are.
But now, in fairness to Sean, that is how he dresses.
I know, but it's such a gimmick, and now this is a big...
I think you got to stay out of the kid's way.
I think doing the gimmick would be getting in his way.
Yeah. I think it got in his way last time. And it became a big story, and he probably made some money off the field. I get it.
But this time, bigger money's on the line.
Now this is, your career's on the line.
And you didn't even know you'd get this. You guys probably thought it would be Drew Lock at this point.
Right.
It's
Drew
not.
Lock did, too.
Certainly Drew Lock did.
Yeah.
He thought it was a lock.
And Dexter Lawrence, I never knew Dexter Lawrence was that close with Daniel Jones. My best friend, he said.
It's not just that, but there's a lot of guys in that room that are like, all right, well, tell me how this is helping our team win games. Because those players want to win. They work. They game plan.
And it's the same draft class.
You know,
those kids were in rookie camp together.
Right, the whole idea of tanking, and I know they talk about it on the morning all the time, root for them to lose every single game, although Dave, for some reason, would be okay to run it back with Shane and Dable if they go 2-15, which I don't get. But these players are working their asses off, and do they want to see the season get thrown away? So, and there's been a lot of guys off the record. I give Dexter Lawrence credit for at least going on the record.
Here's Brian Dable about Dexter Lawrence's comments.
I got a lot of respect for Dex. Dex has, been a teammate of Daniel for a while. There's a pretty good relationship with there. And look, everybody's not going to agree with the decision, and I understand that. We make the decision we feel is best, and then we move forward and get ready to go for practice here.
So there you go. Dable's not taking any of the bait. Let's put it that way.
No.
1-800-919-3776. I'm just so intrigued by what Andres in Lyndhurst has to say. Andres.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good.
So one thing, right? As a diehard Yankee fan, Knicks fan, and Jets fan, thank God for making me a Yankee fan because the Jets and Woody Johnson are just terrible, right? But hear me out. Brett Favre started out 8-3 in 2008. Rodgers 3-8 this season. I have a gut feeling. Call me crazy, but I think Miami's going to go 8-9, Cincinnati 7-10, Indianapolis 8-9, Denver 8-9, and I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to win 6 in a row, resurrect his career, end the drought, make the playoffs, but then get eliminated in the first round. I want to hear your thoughts on that. I know it's crazy, but it's a long shot, but hopefully it'll happen.
Well, it's crazy, and it's a long shot. What makes you think, from what you've seen so far, Andres, that this is going to happen? He hasn't been able to get out of his own way.
It's just being able to believe, man. This team has been terrible for years. And, being a Knicks fan, it made me ready for this moment because we've sucked now for 14 years. And last time we made the playoffs, I thought we were going to the Super Bowl. I was celebrating, and, we lost to the Steelers, and we didn't make the comeback. But I just believe that, he has something left in the tank. He has Devontae that he can work with, and hopefully that connection can resurrect again, and, he can complete some passes and, throw a 300-yard game for once. But
I appreciate you, man, but come on.
So you're just doing this on total blind faith. And, listen, that's what a fan is.
All right, that's fine, but you got to have a little something. You came off another terrible performance. And, okay, I forget all the teams that he mentioned, but, right now, Denver's got 6 wins. Denver is playing the Cleveland Browns. Then they go into the bye, Indianapolis, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs. That's a tough way to close out the season, but the Chiefs might not need that last game. If Denver gets to 9 wins, guys, it's over for the Jets because the Denver's got the tiebreaker. So, first of all, you're not running the table. Even in the best-case scenario, you're not running the table. And then you're going to ask Miami to not win 3 games, Denver not to win 3 games. But what have you seen from Aaron Rodgers that he's capable of doing that?
Nothing.
Anything. He's had his moments. Now, maybe he will duplicate what he did against New England and have a great game, and they'll win. He's going to have to do that 6 straight times, man. The defense is going to have to come up and learn to tackle people. They're going to have to come up with a stop. I understand there's hope and faith, but that's blind faith, man.
That is blind faith. That's exactly what it was.
I appreciate it.
Vincent in Tom's River. Vinny.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good. What's up?
Long-time listener.
Thank you.
I
I'm a longtime Jet fan, and believe me, I'm not a Woody Johnson fan, owner. I believe he makes a lot of bad decisions. However, I believe in the beginning of the season, even when they traded for Aaron Rodgers, they all killed him. Mistake, over the hill, whatever, everything else.
Who killed him? Vincent, who killed him? Everybody thought it was a good move.
The fans.
No.
No?
I don't know. But go ahead, make your. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'll take that back. All right. So maybe not everybody could, but everybody's like, he's old, he's washed up. 4 games into the season, Woody Johnson, the maniac, that I agree, sorry for calling him out of his name. I apologize.
Go ahead.
He decided that he wanted to bench the Hall of Famer.
Right.
Yeah.
They all looked at him like he was crazy. But now, is it that far-fetched that maybe he should have just benched him? That's why he fired everybody. They didn't listen to him.
Well, listen, the way Rodgers has played, Vincent, and I said this earlier, maybe he was, he had something, but who you going with?
So listen,
I mean, it's Tyrod. I mean, you sold your soul for Aaron Rodgers, and then you were willing to cut bait after 4 games? But he had won 2 of the previous 3 games.
But this is why the caller loses me. All right, he might have turned out to be right, because I think if Tyrod Taylor's the quarterback, they might have a couple of more wins. But do you really think that Woody's suggestion to bench Rodgers came from a place of knowledge and information, or just a red-hot owner that was ticked off they lost to the Denver Broncos and didn't score a
Who
touchdown?
probably had friends in his ear going, yeah, they should bench that guy.
No, it turned out to be right. A blind squirrel catches a nut every once in a while. But, Michael, honestly...
But really, was he right? Would that have been the move to make?
No, it wouldn't have been the move to make. But looking back at it, would they be in better shape if Tyrod had played all those games? Maybe. But would that be the thing to do after the investment in Aaron Rodgers? You're now going to essentially cut ties with him 4 games into the season at 2-2 to go to Tyrod Taylor? It would have been insanity at the time. Yeah, it turned out that maybe it would be the right move. And if he was a football savant, if it had been, Bill Parcells or Bill Belichick that suggested it, I guess you could say it's coming from a place of knowledge, and maybe he saw something nobody else saw. Do you really think that's on the table? Woody saw something that nobody else saw?
No.
Or did he just absolutely get lucky?
I can't accept that he actually knows what he's seeing. I'm sorry. He's a businessman. He's a great ambassador from what I've heard. But a football savant?
Well, nobody ambassadors like he does.
No, he's a great ambassador. Brian in Ridgewood. Brian.
Hey, John and Michael, nice to talk to you. Peter, hello as well. I just want to say, Woody is a schmuck.
Hold on. Why? Mike, why? Why'd we start that way?
He's being mean.
I was just having fun with you.
He just patted you on the top of the head.
Fun with you.
It wasn't that fun.
Let me throw you a little bone. Here, have a snack, kid.
Wow. Snack.
Let me wrap this dollar bill in your hand. Hold on to that. Buy something nice.
What was that?
It was hurtful, but, effective. Go ahead, Brian.
Woody's a schmuck, and he just puts his nose where it doesn't belong. He inherited his wealth. He's not a great businessman, and he thinks just like a lot of people that he knows everything. And I've been calling, DNR, Rothenberg, and DiPietro about, since the Vikings game, that this is just not a good team, but there is good talent there. So I think if you were to get the right GM, which I don't know who would want to take that job, and the right coach, and get some more glue guys, and even bring back Rodgers, you would have a much improved team this year. The other thing,
let me ask you. Let me ask you one question though. What makes you think Rodgers is good enough to play next year? Well, what has he shown you this year? I'm curious.
I don't think he throws, but I don't know. I go back to, watching Ken O'Brien, Pat Ryan. I have seen such horrible quarterback play over the past 10 years that his quarterback play is actually competent. I'm not saying it's great, but if you have competent quarterback play, a strong running game, and a strong defense, you can win.
But here's you're right. The numbers actually might duplicate, if not exceed, what he did in 22 with Green Bay. but he didn't come up big at the end of the drive in Minnesota. He's not throwing the ball downfield. He's not finding a way to win games. Now, you could say, well, Don, they would have won the game against the Colts if the defense could have made a stop. Same with New England. I get it. But let your eyes tell the story. Throw the analytics out. What do your eyes tell you? Do you see a Hall of Fame quarterback? Do you see a quarterback that belongs in the top 15 in the league?
I see a twilight quarterback.
I see a twilight quarterback.
I'm sensing twilight.
That in any moment, in any given game, it can come together and it can look great. But greatness is about consistency and bringing it every week, and I don't think he's capable of doing that anymore.
Let's go to Judy in Buffalo.
Judy.
Okay. I called in several times, and you have summarily dismissed me as a Buffalo Bills fan, which I am. But all I know is the Green Bay Packers are a better team with Aaron Rodgers. And why do we keep talking about Aaron Rodgers?
Well, they're a better team without him, you mean?
No, yeah.
You said
they're
with
a better
him.
team without him.
Yeah,
Yes,
you said
that's
with him.
my point.
Okay.
All right. Why do we keep even talking about Aaron Rodgers when he has brought nothing to this team? Why is he even the object of a discussion here is beyond me.
Well, but Judy, wait a minute. It's beyond you. He's a 4-time MVP. He's considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. It's beyond you that we're discussing his downfall? I don't understand how that's beyond you. Oh, I mean, it's beyond me.
I don't dismiss Judy because she's a Bills fan. I dismiss Judy because she's Judy.
I mean, it's beyond you why you would discuss Aaron Rodgers and one of the greatest quarterbacks who ever breathed the air on this earth, and he's absolutely hit the skids and is awful. We shouldn't even discuss him in a New York sports station.
Don, that might have been your real point guard. You know what? Move.
You giving it up?
Remove the old point guard and give it to this.
Now, because I think her angle was going to be we should be talking about the true team in New York, and we should be talking up Allen. I'm sorry, their owner embarrassed themselves in an article. It's going to be a topic of conversation. That's why we talk about Aaron Rodgers. Do you think I want to talk about Tommy DeVito and the pointless Giants? It's New York.
Yeah, and we don't talk about the Buffalo Bills because they're not in this market.
Believe me, Judy. Your day's going to come. Your team's good. We're going to get to the playoffs. We're not going to talk about the Jets and Giants. You know why? Because they're not going to be in the playoffs. Next time we talk about them would be the draft or the hiring of a coach and general manager. All right? Bills are going to get their day. And the thing that bothers me about people like Judy, I like the Bills. Yeah. I'd love to see them win the Super Bowl.
Bills Detroit is dead sexy.
To me, it is. As a football fan,
I mean, the city.
Yeah, one city is going to end this terrible drought.
It'll be amazing. And remember this. And also, it's crisp in the can. And also,
that was
that's the snap.
Opening Snapple was great. That should be the opener of the show tomorrow.
Maybe we could turn it into the Andy Griffith open.
You don't have that sound anymore with the plastic.
Really?
No.
It's crisp in the can.
Why?
Because
what do you mean? It's still airlocked, right?
But not like that.
It doesn't hit like it did with the glass.
Believe me, I have at least 1 or 2 Snapples a day, and I never hear that sound.
You have that many Snapples?
Yeah, I love Snapples.
It's a lot of Snapple, man.
I passed the kidney stone.
I have iced tea.
I got off a Snapple because I was passing kidney stones the size of a baby's head.
Well, and that was the reason.
Because you know what? I haven't had.
Wait, what? I've never heard that.
I haven't had one since.
Why would you disparage a great beverage like that?
It's me. It's one of the great beverages. Obviously, it's not an issue for you. It was an issue for me. I quit Snapple. No more kidney stones. I had 3 at once.
So Snapple is what caused the kidney stones.
People say that iced tea could be the reason.
So there's other flavors of delightful Snapple.
I understand.
So why
I
don't
quit
you go
the
that
Snapple.
route? I just. You just quit things cold turkey.
Well, what's wrong with that? And if it works for me, what do you mean? What? What? I'm doing fine. I don't need your approval. Go make your little. Is it doing it for you? I don't look. What do I care what you think?
No,
honestly, I don't sit there looking in the mirror again and day and go, "I got Michael's approval." Your disapproval means more.
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, you heard it, Peter. That's why I found out because it's uncomfortable.
No, I heard it.
I think it's working out for me. I don't have Michael's approval. What do I do, Peter? What do I do? I don't have Michael's approval. Oh my God. So
you know how many things he's done without Michael K?
What?
He has he's a fabulous driver.
Mm-hmm.
He has
2 great kids.
He's got 2 great kids.
I'm gonna
He's got a head of hair.
I'm going to drive home and I'm going to jerk the wheel into a bridge embankment.
You did go full Farley last week. Don't forget.
Wow. This really took an ugly turn.
Well, you made it ugly.
But I didn't mean it the way you took it.
Let me tell you, how did you mean it? I would like
about the Snapple stuff. I think that the Snapple decision is wrong. I think Snapple is delightful.
I didn't
One of the
say
few
it's
things
not.
I enjoy in life.
It was a tough give up. But you make choices in life, Michael.
Oh, I know how much pain you were with the little babies rocking
right.
you.
But yeah, I had a string hanging out of me.
Oh, my. He did. It was gross.
2 weeks I had to work with it.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a string.
I didn't show it to anybody, but
Thank you. See you, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3.
That's a wrap on the show for today. Coming up next, Yankees Magazine. For all of us here on the Michael Kay Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night. See you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. The Michael Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
Untuck It makes every guy look better. From tall to short, from big to slim. From our iconic button-downs for all shapes and sizes to a whole lot more. Try us today. Untuck It. We just make guys look better. Oh, and we make great styles for her, too. Shop the sale now at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores worldwide.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
test drive? Absolutely. There's the all-new Kicks, the new V6-powered Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Consumer Guide's Best Buy 10 years in a row.
Finished with all your holiday shopping?
We are now. Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event. Now, get a low $229 per month lease on Rogue, one of 6 Nissan vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000.
Well, if you want my 2 cents on interest rates, we got options.
My 2 cents. This one's priced to sell. My 2 cents? My 2 cents?
My 2 cents? My 2 cents? My 2 cents?
Here's my 2 cents. I'm planning for the future. Interest plus interest equals more interest. Come on, now. You gonna drink that?
Hi, Joan. Perfect timing. I have a few questions.
Of course. Let's look at your plan.
Cancer can be a challenging journey. One that no one should take on alone. And Stand Up to Cancer wants to make sure no one has to. We bring together the best scientists and doctors to accelerate research, leading to more effective treatments. With each new advancement, we're getting closer than ever to our mission of making every cancer patient cancer-free. To get there even faster, we rely on the support from individuals like you, so that through our combined efforts, more patients and their loved ones will see that even though cancer may interrupt the journey, it doesn't have to determine the destination. Let's go further. Together. Join us and learn more at standuptocancer.org/AA.
We all want to feel safe when traveling. That's why if you see something that feels suspicious, such as an abandoned bag or erratic behavior from a passenger, just call 911. You can call anonymously, and it's okay if it turns out to be nothing. Work together with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to keep our transportation facilities safe. Visit PANYNJ.gov to learn more.
Do you spend hours maintaining your gutters? Save that time with LeafGuard's maintenance-free system. Call 1-833-2-GUTTERS. Mesh filters sit on top of your gutters, building up debris and eventually clogging. Then they need to be cleaned too. Honestly, your home should have been built with LeafGuard gutters. LeafGuard's wraparound hood deflects debris and keeps water away from your home. The one-piece seamless system is strong, 20% thicker than average and built to last. Plus, Leaf Guard is guaranteed to never clog for as long as you own your home. Right now, get a complete Leaf Guard system for only $99 down, $99 a month, and $99 installation. You'll also receive a $100 Visa gift card with a free gutter inspection and in-home estimate. Damage from clogged gutters can cost you thousands. Never worry about clogged gutters again. Don't wait, you've still got time. Call 1-833-2-GUTTERS today. That's 1-833-2-GUTTERS.
Welcome to the Warehouse, home of Blitzball Battle 5, where the big leagues meet the backyard. Pro athletes and some not pro athletes. Hearts on the line. Games that matter just enough.
On to the final!
Blitzball Battle 5 premieres November 4th. Watch all year round on Warehouse Games YouTube.
A team grows in Brooklyn. Block by block. Play by play. Shot by shot.
We got Nets.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes,